This is a true crime discussions channel. We speculate. This is all just speculation. Because it's true crime, it's for mature audiences only. There will be no children allowed, no exceptions. Everything on this channel falls under fair use. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe, and share. It's free. Hey y'all, good to see you today. So I have some jail calls from Leilani Simon. I requested the calls before trial and during trial to see kind of what her mindset was during that time period. I will try to find a quick recap on Leilani Simon in case you guys don't know who they are. But talking to our lovely Hio this morning, I found out that they're unreleased, which is really interesting. So we've got some new breaking videos that have never been seen. Let me say hey to y'all. It's good to see you, Anders, Hio, Foxy, Chaz, Indie Girl, Nessie UK, Abellis, Jenna's Gypsy, Chaz, Foxy, Indie Girl, Abellis, Queen Olive, Ruth Ann, Cara, Jenny Jen, good to see you. Tosh, good to see you. Good to see you, Ali X, Pamela, good to see you. Good to see you. I'm so glad that y'all are all here with me today. Hey, Jennifer. Thank you guys for being here. I really appreciate it. Bad Girl and Jenny Jen, I don't know if I said hey to y'all. Sometimes I get lost in the sauce. Okay, so let me go onto YouTube real quick and pull up try to find a quick recap of what Leilani did. Let's see. I actually should have had this done. I was on the phone and really, I think I was a little late to the live. Hold on just a minute. Okay, this one's 17 minutes. No, that person might strike me. This is a 2-minute clip from the news. Hopefully
tonight the community is shocked.
This will give us kind of a recap of this. She was convicted of homicide with her son. We did stream the trial live here a couple months ago, back in October. So here's it might catch you up a little bit on what's going on.
Tonight, the community is shocked again as the case in the disappearance of Quentin Simon takes yet another turn. As our Andy Cole reports, when news broke of Quentin's mom and grandmother out reportedly drinking, had some people feeling uneasy.
That's not the kind of look that a lawyer is going to want to have to explain.
That look is news that Leilani Simon and Billie Joe Howell, little Quentin Simon's mom and grandmother, went out drinking at a Tybee Island bar just hours after federal investigators finished their first day searching through a landfill for Quentin's body.
Sick. So his full body was never found. They found fragments of his skull. She was doing substances. Something happened. He died, and she basically threw him in the dumpster. Yeah, she's another Megan, too. She's nasty Megan, but with the sense to put the garbage in the landfill, yeah.
Sickening. It's pure sickness.
Neighbor Angela Ortega said she picketed outside Quentin's home for hours Wednesday.
I cannot believe how they're walking the streets and a baby is gone. How can you do that? How? I was sick. I said, what?
Brenda Krause was outraged too. Even still, she and her son Billy Smith,
it's just a very sad situation.
brought stuffed animals to add to the front yard memorial.
Just a way to help feel like you've done something, even if you're not really doing anything.
As the shrine to Quentin continues to grow, so does.
Hey, Audria, it's good to see you. I'm glad you're here with us today.
The number of people asking,
why, in your mind, do you think that they haven't charged or arrested her?
Former police officer and prosecutor Philip Holloway, who's not connected to the case, told WJCL 22 News police likely want to cross their T's before making any moves. But Holloway thinks they could be racking up more evidence while Leilani remains free.
They have the opportunity to watch her. They have the opportunity to put surveillance on her. It could be 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. They're looking at who she's talking to, where she's going, what time of day she's coming, and what time of day she's going. And they are perhaps giving her an opportunity to provide them more evidence.
Regardless of all of that, FBI experts will be back at the landfill bright and early Friday morning, searching piece by piece. In Chatham County, I'm Andy Cole.
So that's a little bit of a recap. Doesn't really tell you what she did. Maybe we can let's watch this one real quick. At least part of it. This is a 26-minute video. We'll watch this or part of it and see.
One more time for good measure. Yes, ma'am.
I don't know if it just shows the trial. Yeah, that just shows the trial. Basically, she unalived her son and threw him in a dumpster, and he was later found in a landfill. So I requested calls from jail. Hold on. Oh, goodness. I don't even know how to pause it. I requested calls from jail between Leilani Simon and her mother, Billy Joel Howell. I have released these on my Patreon. You can get these there. They're, from what I understand, they're unreleased. They are video calls, and we're going to play them here and talk about it. The state's opening would tell the story. Okay, let's see if we can pull that up real quick. Thank you, Blue Giraffes. I appreciate that. Sometimes, y'all, I'm taking mushroom supplements now for my brain because my memory just is not, my electrodes. My brain is not firing like it should be. So I started taking lion's mane, reishi, and turkey tail that I have foraged locally in the woods around the property to try to help with that. So I appreciate y'all. Let's see. States opening. Or okay. Oh yeah, it's a 23-minute video. So we'll pull that up real quick first. Thank you, Blue Giraffes. I really appreciate that. Hey, Dainty Dane. All right, so let's pull up the state's opening argument. They are not psychedelic mushrooms. Lion's mane, reishi, and turkey tail have a lot of amazing benefits. I do not have any golden teachers. So, you know, be nice if I did, but I don't. Definitely would not take some and come live. I can tell you that. Dainty says, good day and God bless y'all. As usually, I'll be listening and popping in with random comments that usually make no sense by the time I get to it. Okay, love. I appreciate you being here. Bad Girl dropped a trigger warning. So this is the state's opening argument for the trial. It'll give us kind of an idea of what's going on.
On October 5th of 2022, in the dark of the night, while the rest of her family slept, Leilani Simon did something incredibly evil. She murdered her own 1-year-old baby and then put his body in a dumpster where just a few hours later, his body would be destroyed by heavy machinery. And we have proven that beyond a reasonable doubt. During the course of a murder trial, we spend a lot of time talking about the defendant and what the defendant did, because it is our burden to prove beyond a reasonable doubt what the defendant did.
Hey, Edith, good to see you. Foxy said, be careful, foraging some poisonous mushrooms look just like non-poisonous ones. Yes, ma'am, they do. I have foraged mushrooms for about 6 years now. I have an app on my phone that identifies them, and I go through several. I use that app, and I use several different other ways to identify them. I what makes me happy is foraging. So I've studied mushrooms that grow local in this area, and I know them really well, and other medicinal plants and things like that. I can usually just identify them. Actually, my 8-year-old daughter, she'll go with me a lot of times, and she's blown my mind because she'll point to trees and she'll say, "Oh, that's a spruce, or that's a, maple, or that's all of the other, an oak, a white oak, a red oak, all of the things." She forages with me a lot, and she learned a lot too. But I'm pretty good with it. If I am not 100% positive on the mushroom, I don't take it. Reishi, turkey tail, and reishi and lion's mane are pretty specific. They don't really have a lot of lookalikes. Turkey tail does. But I've gotten really good at identifying those over the years. Hey, Bazard, it's good to see you. We did cover this trial. It should be in a playlist. I did recently put all of my videos and lives into playlist. It should be in a playlist on my page if you guys want to recap the trial.
But because of that, we don't spend a lot of time talking about the victim, Quentin Simon, in this case. One of the elements that we have to prove in murder is that the defendant murdered a human being. And Quentin Simon was a human being. A real live little boy. He liked to play. He was funny. He was affectionate. He was a good eater. He loved cheese. He liked to camp out on the floor at the McCarta's house and watch cartoons. He was a real live boy, a human being, and he shouldn't be thought of as an abstract in this case. He should be thought of as a person. He should be thought of as the little boy who loved Danny. And you heard from Paul and from Toledo and say, "Danny, Danny, Danny." He should be thought of as a real live human being, a person. A real live human being, a person whose mother put his body in a dumpster. And we
YouTube, good to see you. Yes, this is a very sad story. I have some unreleased video calls from jail between Leilani and Billy Joe that we're going to look at after we do this recap. Just real quick, to remind y'all, tomorrow I will be observing a day of silence as the day Maddie died, as the day Sebastian disappeared, and today is the day that George died, that Sarah Boone, George that Sarah Boone murdered. I can't remember his last name right now off the top of my head, but I am going to do a moment of silence right now for him. Tomorrow will be a whole day of silence. So right now we're going to observe a moment of silence for George, who was murdered by Sarah Boone. Torres, thank you. George Torres. That was a moment of silence for George Torres. Tomorrow will be a day of silence for Sebastian Rogers and Madeline Soto. All right, back to this.
We have proven that beyond a reasonable doubt. Mr. Dean told you that we don't have to prove motive, and we don't. It surprises people sometimes. Motive is not an element of the crime that prosecutors have to prove, but it's just not. But in this case, we know what the motive is, and it's important to understand that motive, understand why a mother could do something so awful as kill her own child. Because it's something so evil that it's almost unspeakable, incomprehensible that a mother could kill her own 1-year-old baby. So we have to think about the state of mind that this woman was in at that time. She was deeply, deeply unhappy with her life. She had 3 really small children. She had a 3-year-old, a 20-month-old, and an infant. In the best of circumstances, if you had family support, if you had your own place to live, if you had plenty of money, even in great circumstances, having to take care of a 3-year-old, a 20-month-old, and an infant would be so hard and so stressful. But to add on to that stress, she didn't have those other things. Her relationship with her mother was not good. Her mother was gone a lot, so that was not a real support for her. Her relationship with Danny was falling apart. Danny was getting fed up with her. Their relationship was falling apart. They didn't have any money. She was drug addicted. She and Danny were living in her mother's house in one room with these 3 children. And when we talk about her relationship with Craig, or the fact that she had 3 children with 3 different fathers, we're not trying to call her a slut.
Craig was the plug, the dope dealer, I do believe.
Nobody is trying to slut shame the defendant. We wouldn't do that. This is 2024. That's not what this is about. When we talk about those things, what we're trying to show you is that this woman's self-esteem came from men. And part of why she was so deeply unhappy was because Danny was rejecting her. And it made her feel horrible, because that's where her self-esteem came from.
I want to say real quick that a lot of women, myself included, in the past and even in the present, have gotten all of their self-esteem and self-worth from the value they get from other men. And that's very dangerous. You really have got to learn to love yourself before anybody else can love you. It makes it really easy for anybody to just say, oh my gosh, you're so beautiful, and you just fall head over heels in love with them, and they're not even the best person or a good person to be around. So if you find yourself in that situation, try to take a break from men in general and just, learn to love yourself. You're worth way more than that. You should try really hard not to get all of your value from somebody else telling you you're beautiful. You should know that you're beautiful and you are special, and there's nobody else in the world like you. And please remember that. Or other women.
And that's why at 22 years old, she already had 3 children with 3 different fathers, because men were so important to how.
And I don't think so, but I do want to ask you not to use that R word, because it's not. You could say mentally slow. That would be better. It's not really appropriate anymore. I don't think that you meant anything by it. That's why I'm just saying this now. But I think that I don't think she was slow. I think she just was addicted to substances and didn't have very much self-esteem, and that's why. And she was overwhelmed, and that's why that happened.
How she saw herself and how she felt about herself. And that's what was part of why she felt so awful that night. You saw the suicide video that she did, where she talked about how unhappy she was. She even said to her children, I can't love you because I can't love myself. It doesn't seem she ever intended to kill herself. It was something she was going to send to Danny, probably for attention, for him to feel sorry for her, because she was manipulative of Danny, very manipulative of Danny. And the reason that she started this sexual relationship with Craig was to fill a void there. And this sexual relationship with Craig was a new thing. It's something that had just happened in the weeks before this. So on the night that she killed Quentin, Danny had rejected her. She's using drugs. She's on cocaine, marijuana, Percocet, and maybe alcohol, because we saw her go and buy beer at the convenience store. She's under the influence. She said in her own statements that drug use made her angry and impulsive. So she's unhappy. She's mad at Danny. She's under the influence of drugs that make her angry and impulsive. And so she goes to Arkwright looking for Craig, because Craig is where she has been getting that need fulfilled for male attention that makes her feel better about herself. And Craig's not there that night. That's why it matters and why we made Craig come in here and testify, because he wasn't there that night. And so she couldn't get that need fulfilled. She couldn't feel better about herself. So instead, she does something so drastic. She killed Quentin. And in the act of killing Quentin, she became a sympathetic person and got Danny's attention back. She became the mother of a missing child. And Danny ran out of work to be by her side. That's what she wanted. That was the manipulation.
Robin said, I don't think Leilani was slow. I think she was very manipulative and street smart and thought she could lie her way out of everything. And I agree 100%. That is the issue here. And her self-esteem was so low. That's 100% the issue here.
And it's so hard to believe a mother would do that. But that's why you have to think about her frame of mind and how low and desperate she felt that night, and that she was under the influence of drugs that she admits make her angry and impulsive. That's what happened.
Hey, Rachel, you're not late. You got here right when you're supposed to be here.
You also may wonder why Quentin? Why that child? And Quentin was her disposable child. She did not like Quentin's father. She loved Zane. Zane was her ride or die. You heard Michelle McCarta talk about how she would say Zane had been through everything with her. He was her ride or die. And Sky, who was her youngest child, the baby infant, was Danny's child. She needed Sky to keep Danny around. Quentin was disposable. She didn't really like Quentin. We heard testimony about how she would call Quentin names. We heard testimony about her hitting him, about her pushing him in the pool. She didn't do this to any of her other children. She would feed Zane before she fed Quentin. She didn't do that to any of her other children. Quentin was disposable. And so she disposed of him in the trash can. But that's why Quentin, and not one of her other children. Her plan did not last. Her story came apart really, really fast because the police, when a child is missing, it is all hands on deck, and they're going to start using every resource they can to find this child and see what's going on in this household. And it was within a very short period of time that they discovered her vehicle on those slot cameras leaving home during the night when she said she had been at home.
Abellis, I hope you feel better, sweetheart. Natasha says that she hopes you feel better too, Abellis. Rachel said, this case breaks my heart and makes me very angry. It made me upset too. Oh yeah, they went out drinking. YouTube said you'll see the shenanigans that happened while the police searched for the baby. The mom and grandma were out drinking. They were. I think there might have been some substance addictions there with the alcohol. Could it possibly explain that? I can understand being a parent and wanting to believe that your child wouldn't do something like that, but I don't know. There's some videos where it looks like she knows exactly what Leilani's done. And I mean, it would be hard as a parent anyway, because she already had one child that was in prison for life, and now she's got two, That's a hard place to be in as a parent. So I have some sympathy for Billy Joe. But I don't have any for Leilani at all.
So it was within hours that they knew she was lying. The defense also said that we don't.
Chaz, I'm going to look right now. It's under the live streams. I will look right now and see where it's at.
Don't like to talk about Danny, and that's not true. Like, we talked about Danny a lot. There's nothing about Danny that makes us uncomfortable talking about him or why he didn't do this. There's overwhelming evidence that is the person who killed Quentin Simon and not.
So it's titled Leilani Simon Lives, and there's 7 videos. Leilani is spelled Leilani, and then Simon lives. That was the trial.
The defense also kept talking about Danny being up at 3 o'clock in the morning and seeing Quentin. That did not come into evidence in this trial. Go back and check your notes. That is not something that is in evidence. The only mistake Danny made was in the morning when he left at 5:20 in the morning.
So I need to edit it. I'll edit it real quick and put the Leilani, maybe. It's not wanting to let me. Okay. It's at Leilani Simon lives.
He originally said he saw Clinton. And he talked about that. He just assumed it because he was.
But that is just the trial, because I got in when I first started my channel, she was going to a trial. So it's basically the whole trial.
Woke up in the dark, got ready for work, quietly left the house.
And there's the dude with dreads is the boyfriend. You'll see Billy Joe on the jail calls in a minute. That's the grandmother.
Just assumed Quentin was there then. He did not go over to the pack and play and look in and say, hey, Quentin, you there? He didn't do that. And so because he had not seen anything weird when he left home, he just assumed that Quentin was there and it was fine. And when pressed and questioning, he explained that he had not actually gone over to the pack and play and looked and made sure that Quentin was there. That is the only inconsistency in his statement. And it is very understandable. The defense has started trying to suggest that Danny could have done this, but Danny is not the one that was at the dumpster in the middle of the night throwing a bag of trash in. A dumpster that later went to an area of the landfill where Quentin's body was found. It was not Danny's phone that was at the dump. It was not Danny's car driving to the dump. It was her. She drove to the dump. And she admitted that she was there. Mr. Dean spent a lot of time making it clear about where this trash went to the landfill. The landfill is huge. And Quentin's body was found in the specific part of the landfill where the dumpster she was throwing his body into put its trash. Otherwise, he never would have been found, which is what she wanted. She didn't want him to be found because then forevermore she could be the mother of a missing child and sympathetic. I want to talk to you about the burden of proof. Mr. Hilliard said the state hates the burden of proof. We don't.
Hey, Stoic.
We welcome that burden. It is our burden, and we welcome it with open arms because we want the right person convicted. We should have to prove to you beyond a reasonable doubt that she's the person that committed this crime. And we have, and she is. We don't hate reasonable doubt at all. Mr. Dean talked about reasonable doubt. I'm happy to talk about reasonable doubt and burden of proof. Reasonable doubt does not mean, as the defense suggested, that we have to prove beyond a reasonable doubt every fact that we put up before you. What we have to prove beyond a reasonable doubt is the elements of the crimes, and we have done that. It means a doubt with a reason, not just any doubt, but a doubt using your common sense. So you go back in that jury room when we're done, and using your common sense, you ask yourselves, did that woman murder Quentin Simon? And the answer to that is absolutely yes, she did. Absolutely. And all of the evidence points to her. All of it. Mr. Hilliard also spent a lot of time talking about emotion in this case. And yes, this is an emotional case. Murder cases, by definition, have emotion in them because a human being has died. And the murder of a really small child, there's no way you can escape emotion. There's going to be emotion. People who testify are going to have emotion. We're going to have emotion when we talk about it. It's unavoidable. But we're not asking you to find her guilty based on emotion. We're asking you to find her guilty based on all of the facts and evidence that we have put before you. The 34 witnesses that have come in and testified and told very specifically how these events happened.
Sherry Ann Woods, I love your name. She said, love your channel, listening from London, UK, and you've been a member for 2 months. That is amazing. Thank you so much for sharing your milestone with us today. I'm so glad you're here, and thank you for listening. We very much appreciate you being part of our Speculating family. Thank you for that. That was awesome. So sweet.
All of the statements that you've heard the defendant make, where she changed her story over and over and over and over, that's what we're asking you to make this finding on of her guilt, the actual evidence. And when it comes to her emotion, that's fair game. You absolutely can consider her emotion and her demeanor when you're evaluating this case. And it's important to look at her emotion, because while it is absolutely true people react differently to trauma, none of her reactions were anywhere within what is believable. They just were not. There's some people, when something terrible happens to them, they shut down, they're very quiet, they're stoic, they give one-word answers. That's totally normal. There are other people who become absolutely hysterical, they can't even talk. Absolutely normal. There's a wide range of human emotions. What is not normal is for a mother to wake up and find her child missing and react the way this woman did.
Yeah, everything she did is just so questionable and so weird.
She didn't run upstairs to Paul, who was at home, and say, Paul, Quentin's missing. Have you seen Quentin? Is Quentin up here? She didn't do that. She didn't go wake up Paul. Paul had no idea what was going on until the police were there, which was 20, 30 minutes later. She didn't go running out in the yard, in the woods, looking for her child. She didn't do that. She called Danny, because that's the whole motive. She wanted Danny's attention. That's why she did this. And so Danny's the first person she called, and she didn't do another thing until Danny got home. Danny got home and found her just standing around outside. She wasn't looking for Quentin. There is no mother who would not look for their child frantically under these circumstances. She had not called the police. She'd not asked Paul for help. She'd not called over to the McCartas and said, hey, Quentin's missing. Do y'all have him? She didn't do any of those things. She waited for Danny to come home, because that was the whole point, was to get Danny's attention. And it wasn't until Danny was at home and he had reached out to the McCartas, Michelle suggested they call the police, that things started happening. That is not normal. Her lying through the course of this investigation is not normal. It's not normal, because she wasn't a worried mother. She was a murderer trying to hide what she did. We cannot prove to you the way she killed Quentin. We can't, because she made sure that his body was decimated, was ground to nothing but bits of bone. And under the law, defendants are not rewarded for that. The law does not require us to prove how she killed him when she's the one that hid how she killed him. You're not going to hear anything in the judge's charges that say we have to prove how she killed him.
And you asked, who is Paul? Paul is her brother. Paul was part of Quentin's life. Quentin would come up when Paul got home from work, where they all worked out together on different shifts, I believe. Quentin would come up to his room and hang out and play and be with him. Paul cared for Quentin very much. That was her brother. Sherry Ann, you're so very sweet. Anders said, Rachel, yeah, I remember that he did all the household chores, took the kids to school, etc., though himself was an alcoholic and abused some other drugs, I believe, the white powder. Yep, from what I understand. I don't know if Paul abused the powder, but I know he drank.
The defense can say it all they want, but that is not an element of the crime that we have to prove. And please listen to the law, because you will hear that. We don't have to prove that. It is not the fault of the state that we can't prove that. It is her fault, because she made sure that his body would be in such a state that we couldn't prove it. She wanted his body never to be found. And if it weren't for the work of a whole bunch of people who really cared about getting justice for this child, enough so that they would put all this gear on and dig through stinky trash trying to find him, he never would have been found. That's also part of how we know that this is not an accident. Her behavior and her statements. If something had happened to Quentin and she had found him injured, not responsive in his pack and play or something like that.
Natasha says, seems to me Danny did more for the kids than anyone else, but none of them were in the right state of mind to care for children, in my opinion. Yeah, that's right. And if you were talking about Danny, yeah, Danny did abuse substances, the white powder, and drank. I'm sorry. And Danny did, it appeared to me that Danny did take care of the kids way more than Leilani did. Danny is the father of the youngest, Skylar, I do believe. Quentin's father's name was Bubba, or they called him Bubba, and I don't think he had very much to do with Quentin, unfortunately. And I think that might be why there was some hostility towards Quentin.
She would have called for help. She would have woken up Paul, and Danny was
That's so sweet, bad girl.
still there. She would ask Danny for help. She would have called an ambulance. That would be normal. There is zero evidence in this case that this child had some accidental drug overdose. There's just not. He did not have access to any drugs. Everybody has said he couldn't get out of his pack and play. So once he was in there, he was in there for the night. He wasn't roaming around, climbing on shelves, trying to touch stuff. And they didn't just leave drugs lying around because they were expensive. And pretty much they used them right after they bought them. Also, we tested his brain matter. There was no indication of any drugs in his brain. This is just not an accident. We went above and beyond to rule out every other possibility for this child to death.
Hey, Rubber.
Medical, accident, SIDS, it's none of those things. It's that his mother murdered him.
Oh, Foxy.
One other thing I want to say about Danny is Danny leaving. Danny did leave town. He didn't just leave. Like, law enforcement knew he was leaving, and they were still in touch with him. He didn't just run away. Danny had no tie to Savannah except for her. And when this happened, there was tremendous media attention. And Danny wanted to get away. It's totally understandable. Does not suggest any kind of guilt in any way whatsoever.
Foxy, I love Robot Chicken, but I haven't watched it in years. That's made by Seth Green. He was in the Austin Powers movies. I used to watch Robot Chicken all the time, but my favorite was Aqua Teen Hunger Force. I loved me some Aqua Teen Hunger Force.
His phone was still tapped at that point. Law enforcement was still in contact with him. There is just nothing to suggest that Danny had anything to do with this. And you saw Danny on the stand. Danny broke down talking about Quentin. And it was very genuine. And you could tell that he had emotion for this child and was sad about what had happened to this child. It was a very realistic, normal emotional response that he had.
Chelsea, what do you mean, love? You have to let me know what you mean. It's good to see you. Danny is the one with dreadlocks, yes.
A child's mother should be the one person in the world that they can count on to keep them safe.
Oh, Aqua Teen Hunger Force.
Parents have a visceral, emotional need to keep their children safe. It is normal, it is biological, but that is not what Leilani Simon did. She murdered her child. She put his body in a dumpster where he would be taken to a landfill and his little precious body would be ripped to bits by heavy machinery to cover up what she did.
I'm sorry, y'all. That was horrible. That's a hard trigger worded. Sorry about that. It is horrible what happened to Quentin. It makes me very sad. That's why I specifically requested the jail calls during the trial and leading up to the trial, because I wanted to know what Leilani's mindset was, if she thought she was going to prevail through the trial and be released. Like, I kind of wanted to know what her frame of mind was before the trial.
Leilani Simon is not a mother. She is a monster. And I do not use that word lightly. But what this woman did in this case is horrific. And she is absolutely a monster. We cannot undo the horror of what she did that night. We can't undo it. It's done. We can't undo it. This child is gone, and nothing we do or say can bring him back. We cannot give him back the 80 or so years that he should have had ahead of him, a long life, all the things he should have gotten to experience. We can't give him back to the people that care about him. We can't do that. But what we can do for baby Quentin now is give him justice. He deserves justice. You can give him the justice he deserves, and you can give her the justice she deserves.
And she did. She got convicted. I can't remember. I think it was first-degree murder. I'm pretty sure it was. I know she's in prison for the rest of her life. So I have 5 jail calls ready to go. I had no idea that they were unreleased, but they are. So see them here. See them first here. And I do have 10 more to get together after this. So the first one is just 30 seconds. Hold on. Let me get it pulled up. It shows Billy Joe and Leilani. She appears to... Hold on. Sorry, wrong one. She appears to put the tablet that she has in her jail cell down on the floor and bite an apple. And it just shows that, and then it goes to nothing. It's, as you can see, it's 36 seconds right here. Tells us that it's Leilani. She's on the Medical 3 kiosk. Housing is medical. So this is when she was in medical. And then she's talking to Billy Joe. I'm going to have to do some editing before I put these out in videos. So this was October 8th at 12:11 p.m.
Saliva, where you at? I can't hear you if you're there.
Okay, that was all of that one. I'll play it one more time since it's so short.
Saliva, where you at? I can't hear you if you're there.
She seems happy. So she terminated that call. Let me pull up the next one. I think that's the shortest of the ones that I have. This one's 13 minutes. It says she's again housed in medical. Hold on, I will get it pulled up. I don't know. I don't know if she's had a stroke. If she was having a stroke, it froze at a weird angle. So I don't know. It was kind of weird. I think it froze at a weird angle. Yeah, she thinks it's funny. Everything's funny. She does. She acts as if she doesn't have a care in the world. She absolutely does. That's why I asked for these. That was October 8th. So that was about a week before trial. This one is September 17th at 1:18 p.m. And it appears she's in medical, or she's using the medical tablet, and she's talking to her mom.
You do got you a nice little tan going on. Hi, Mima.
Doing
Not much.
not much. We gotta do better than
Not
that.
much.
We gotta do better than that.
I know. I know that's right. I miss you.
I miss you too.
You looking good. I like you. You got a nice tan going on too.
I'm not white no more.
No,
Okay.
not white. I am, Mima. I am so.
Okay, I do want to say I haven't looked at these calls. I know she pulled her shirt down low, but she was showing her tan, so I don't know if anybody would say anything about that, but please don't. That's her grandma. Like, I don't want to be talking crap about her grandma. You know what I mean? She's just showing her tan. She's proud of it. She has every right to be. She got a nice tan going on there.
So white right now.
The Cherokee's coming out.
Yeah, this place is taking it away.
Cherokee's coming out.
Yeah. Well, and welcome back.
Yeah.
I don't know how to make it any clearer. Maybe when I put them in video format, it might be a little clearer. But that's as good as I've got right now. Yeah, it's me. I'm upset with her laughing like that. Like, I understand that you do have to live a life, but she's just so happy and excited, and it is very irritating. This was a little less than a month. I think her trial started October 15th, so right at a month before trial.
Now I know. Okay, so I don't really know why we didn't have the court date. My attorney did come and see me.
What is that?
So remember that appeal we were talking about?
Yeah.
So he said right now, as far as they know, we're still going to be going to trial October 9th. Okay.
October 14th, actually, right?
Well, yeah, because he thinks that jury selection is going to go from the 9th to the 11th, which is the Wednesday to Friday.
Right.
So that following Monday, he believes that the actual trial will start, because jury selection is just that, jury selection.
Right.
He said there are a couple of scenarios that could cause it to get delayed, and the main one that he knows is going to bother me is that if the appeal.
See, this is what I'm interested in. I want to know her thoughts on the trial and everything. I have to flip back and forth, so if I miss some of y'all's comments, I apologize. Just trying to see what y'all are saying real quick. Yeah, I agree. She probably wants money put on her books, but, I don't know. Screaming Daisy says sometimes people laugh a lot when they are grieving. It is a contradiction. Sometimes they do. She appears to me to be just not having a care in the world. I don't think she's grieving at all at this point. Maybe I should request like right after trial and see if her demeanor's changed.
Appeal gets granted, then it will get delayed 6 months to a year.
Oh my God.
Yes. I started tearing up at that. I'm not gonna lie.
So she would start tearing. I'm going to back that up because I kind of paused in a weird spot, but she started tearing up at the fact that the trial would get delayed possibly 6 months to a year. So judging by that statement, I would think she thought she was going to get out of jail.
What is going to bother me is
I backed it up just a little bit so we could get the whole context of that.
That if the appeal gets granted, then it will get delayed 6 months to a year.
Oh my God.
Yes. I started tearing up at that. I'm not gonna lie. Okay. Other than that, he didn't really tell me much. He said that like at the moment, everything
Which one can I call you?
The one you don't like.
It's not that I don't like him. I just think he judged me.
Maybe. I don't know. The way he is sometimes, it's just, I don't know.
I talked to your other attorney today, and I told him, I said, I tried to talk to the other attorney and tell him, you know, I know that they're trying to spin a abusive narrative, and that's not true. I said, I have pictures and videos of Leilani with the kids. If you want them. If you don't, that's fine too. I said, and that's what I was trying to tell him. Leilani, I really didn't ask him anything.
Yeah.
The other guy, you know.
I don't know. I think he's just really protective of this case because a lot of people are trying to get some type of information. Just like, I mean, did I tell you about that time at court that somebody came up to him and was like, I want the court records?
I don't remember seeing a lot of pictures in the trial of her with the children. Scratch the paint, good to see you. Is she in isolation? The medical, so down here at the bottom, it says she's in medical 3. I don't know if it's like a cubby hole where you go to talk to somebody on the kiosk or how that works. She appears to be in either isolation or medical, because usually it's like an open area. It's really loud. There's a lot of people around. So yeah, Jenny Jen said, in my opinion, they were hoping to put some of the blame on Danny, and that would add reasonable doubt. Yeah, I think so. Jackie says, good to see you, Jackie. The only person she'll be grieving for is herself. Definitely slappable material. Yes. Yep. Yeah. I mean, I don't want to be too mean, but I'm with you, Rachel. Mom is just delusional. How could you possibly say she wasn't abusive? She lost custody. She threw freaking Quentin in the pool, and like he fell down the stairs, smacked the shit out of him or something to that effect. I can't remember exactly, but the babysitter's daughter testified to some horrible things she saw. I mean, you know, I don't want to be too mean to Billy Joe, but because that's her child, and of course you're going to protect your child. But Leilani was absolutely abusive, and Leilani actually wasn't even supposed to be in the house with the children at all. Hey, Tony. Oh yeah, Bellis, it's in the trial. It's crazy. She like threw him in the pool, all kinds of things.
No.
Yeah, there was one time after a court date, I can't remember which one, some random person came up acting like he was one of my family members and said he wanted all the court records.
I want to see.
Oh, well, I mean, I was just saying, well, I know, and this is what I said to that attorney. I said, well, I know that the prosecutor filed a motion about the babysitter or something like that. I'm not real sure.
I'm trying to put up something to maybe block out the bottom. I'm going to put these out in videos, and I'll have to redact some of that typed information. Lemon Lime, good to see you. Mom needs judging for being a bad mom too. I don't think she should have had them in that house at all, especially considering that she had custody of them children and Leilani wasn't supposed to be around them.
Well, sure, what's going on with it?
Excuse me.
But and then whenever I went, he just laid into me because I was going to say I want you to know that I have videos and pictures if you want them. But I never even got to say that. He just freaking chewed into me. He started cussing and everything. Using the F word. Using the F word. And Vernon was sitting right there.
Yeah, I know people didn't take that very lightly.
No, he said if he sees him again, he's going to tell him. If he talks to me like that again, he's going to tell him.
All right.
Because I was trying to tell him information.
Yeah. So I'm gonna leave that alone because I believe you, and I believe that he could have misinterpreted the whole situation or whatever.
But what happened? Because I wasn't trying to demand anything out of him. I was trying to tell him stuff.
Yeah. Okay. So he also said that Melody Bowling is the main witness for the ADA.
How?
I don't know. I thought it was going to be Daniel.
Melanie, correct me if I'm wrong. I think that's has to do with the babysitter. I do too, Tony. I think everyone failed to protect. I think everyone failed to protect Quentin as well. Sorry about that. Rachel said, Dainty Dane said, I certainly think it is. Rachel said she was supposed to be supervised. Yep. Hey, lemon lime. The lemon and lime emojis. That's so sweet. Or whatever. Oh, yeah. Hey, Meemaw. Good to see you. I tried to bring Billy Joe up and take her down a little bit if that makes it a little easier to hear.
Daniel's a witness. Don't get me wrong. I believe he is. But he said that he believes that the main witness is going to be Melanie Bowling because she did a seance. This is what this.
Oh, that's the crazy girl that said she did a seance and could be, she called Quentin and Quentin told her what happened. That's in the trial footage in in the live stream. That's in the playlist on my channel, Leilani Simon Lives. Yeah, that girl's in there that said she did a seance. So it's that one. That girl was interesting. I was like, why did the prosecution even call her up? And she's over here talking about doing seances. And she called Quentin's spirit.
It's not funny, but it's really fucked up. Okay. Saying that she has this testimony saying that she did I'm sorry, but she did a seance talking to Quentin, and this is how she knows the stuff that she's gonna testify. And Tim Dean is going to use her as, I guess, the main witness. Yeah, because she did a seance. I didn't hear much about Daniel, but from what I understand, Daniel's really not saying much. He's not saying that I did or didn't do it.
I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, and then when towards the end of the whole thing or whatever, I was just like, well, I said, be straight with me, because I already told you that he told me that they have no physical evidence, right?
Hey, Mindy. Good to see you. Thank you for being here. You need to watch them all. Dainty said, that stuff is real. As a Christian, I know it is, but the Bible also tells us to stay away from the white magic. Yeah, some of that stuff could be real. I, however, do not believe that woman did a seance and called Quentin and was able to speak to him. Yes, Leilani is a Hawaiian name. She is Hawaiian. Like her nationality, I do believe she's her ethnicity, I should say, is Hawaiian. Rachel said, listen how worried she is about Danny and his opinions. Yep, because that's the only other person that was there and saw everything like she did. Except, unfortunately, he didn't see the death of Quentin. Sherry said, I'm into spiritual stuff, and over here, it's not allowed to be used in court. Oh, really? See, I get into spiritual stuff, too, sometimes. But, I don't believe this young lady called Quentin Simon's spirit. And then Hey, all I need is Jesus, true crime, and coffee. I didn't even see you come in. Cara said, I honestly can't with all these women unaliving their children. What the hell happened? Can I please restart this simulation from a different save point? Yeah, no doubt. I wonder how Danny's doing now too. I hope that he is okay and happy with his daughter, because I do believe he has custody of her. Thank God for that.
Right.
I said, well, what do they have? He said, you want to know what they have against you? I said, yes. He said, they think you did it. That's exactly what he said. They think you did it. That's their evidence. They think I did it.
I think they proved you did it.
I'm telling you word for word. That was literally his response. They think you did it. Word for word. Quote on Martin Hilliard. They think you did it.
I don't understand, I just don't understand all this, because I know one thing for sure. Two things for sure.
Something happened.
There was 3 adults in the house. Everybody was using drugs, and Quentin didn't take the dumpster by himself.
Exactly.
And right there, I feel like she said, ma'am, you can't hide from this forever. Because again, there was people using substances in the house. Quentin did not make it to that dumpster by himself. Miss Leilani, you need to take some accountability for what you did. Abella said, that's because you did it, Tart. In 2 Samuel, he used a witch to call up Saul. Sorry, I can't book, chapter, and verse it without Google. No, you're good. We were watching that the other day. It wasn't this past Sunday, but the Sunday before. We put on, the past couple of weeks, we've done a cartoon for the kids for church, and they had it on that, and I was like, wait a minute, they had that in the Bible. I remember, that's what reminds me. And it was a story on Saul, and then she called him up, and I was like, wait a minute, there's a witchcraft in the Bible. I found it interesting. Jenny Jen said Leilani initially said Danny took only Quentin to the babysitter. Yep. Cara said, how can you just be so nonchalant about this? If you're innocent, how can you act like this just isn't a big deal? Yeah. Chaz, it absolutely does. It seems like her mother doesn't agree with her. And I'm giving her props on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But my attorney also said that, honestly and truthfully, they don't even have.
Honestly, though, how do you? I don't mean to keep pausing it, but like, how do you do that? Like, your child did something, okay, and you love them, and you're gonna support them no matter what, because that's your child. Like, there's no other way to say what she did. Like, there's no other way to be like, I think you killed him, other than to be like, everybody was using substances. He didn't jump in that dumpster by himself. So, I mean, she's doing the best she can, and she's being as straightforward as she can while still talking to her child, in my opinion.
Even have proof that is exactly where he was put. He could have been put in any trash can around that whole area within a 10-mile radius. He could have been put anywhere and ended up in that exact same location where they found him. He says, so they can't even use that. That's why that's not actual proof, because they don't have proof of anybody actually putting him in that specific area that they said.
Well, something happened to him.
Obviously, yes, I'm aware of that. But I'm just telling you what I was told.
I understand, Leilani. It's just heartbreaking.
I know. Trust me, I know.
I love him so much, and I look at his pictures every day. There is not a day that goes by that I don't look at him. He's on my watch. Every time I watch Terms, it's a picture of him. And right now, I'm looking at him. I'm looking at him.
And you're lucky to be able to do that.
And I miss him so much. And I miss that little foot. He would sit on you, and he would roll that little foot, and he would just roll it. And
I know.
Roll it, you know what I mean? Like, he would lean on the couch, and I always had that one little leg propped up. Whenever he would lean on the couch, and he was always smiling, and he was so good.
I know. Trust me, I know.
Okay, I don't think she was legitimately crying there. She said you're lucky to be able to have the pictures of him, which irked me a little bit. You can get pictures in jail. You put them on the damn wall with the toothpaste and they stick there. Stop. Like, I'm so irritated right now. She's not even crying. Her mother's pouring out her heart at her about this death, and Leilani's pretending to cry. Wow. I agree, Leilani. Leilani. I'm so sorry. I agree, Lemon Lime. Leilani is a demon. I don't know how else to say that. The only time Leilani ever cried was for herself, said Tony. Exactly. Jackie said, I don't blame Billy at all, and you're lucky to be able to do that. I've had a couple of spiritual incidents, and I didn't even ask for them. Yeah, and you're lucky to be able to do that. I can't with Leilani. I blame the situation is that Billy Joe was a long haul truck driver, okay, and she needed somebody there with the children or something to that effect. I think Leilani ended up not having a place to stay. She was driving trucks and she had custody of the kids and something to that effect, okay. I don't think in 1,000 years she would have ever thought that Leilani would have done something to hurt that child. And I understand your child doesn't have a place to stay and you want to help them out. But if it's a danger for them to be, if CPS had walked in and found Leilani there for any other reason, then she would have lost custody of her grandchildren too. And she should have looked at it like that. I'm sorry you don't have a place to go. I can't help you right now because per CPS, you can't be here by yourself unsupervised. And I drive trucks. So you can't be here. So I don't know what to tell you, but you're going to have to kind of figure it out. You're an adult now. I have your children. You figure it out and then do the stuff you need to do to CPS to get cleared to be back around the children. Because, she risked everything to let Leilani move back in. Because, again, if CPS had come in, which I wish they did, before Quentin died, the kids would have been taken out of the house immediately. And then where are they going to go? So I'm upset with Billy Joe about that, but I don't know, to be fair to her, I don't know how else you would tell your child that they did something and try to get them to admit to something when they're not going to do it. It's not in her nature to be admitting to stuff. Hey, Veronica, good to see you. Oh, she might be a welder. I could have it wrong. I could have it wrong. She might have been a welder. I thought she was a long haul truck driver. I could have the occupation wrong. I 100% could be wrong on that. Yeah, she had a tooth pulled that day, and that was an excuse for why she was in a bad mood. That was an excuse for why she went to go get the cocaine to numb it. She said there was no Oragel or not Ambien, Ambisol in the house, and the police have a picture of Ambisol in the cabinet. That's why she said she went to the gas station that night to begin with, the night Quentin died.
So I'm just telling you what I was told. Okay.
I understand.
I know. I'm just saying that like pretty much what my attorney was saying, that anybody that left the house at that night, anybody, me.
Okay, I'm going to back it up a little bit because I paused, but you notice how Billy Joe is legitimately crying. Leilani pretended to cry and then is all of a sudden just back to her natural tone. Yeah. They were running. Well, technically they were because Leilani wasn't supposed to be there per CPS. Okay, I backed it up a little bit.
I understand.
I know. I'm just saying that like pretty much what my attorney was saying, that anybody that left the house at that night, anybody, me, Daniel, anybody who left or drove on that street that night could have been the one to do it, because they don't have specific proof that was exactly where he was put. So, moving on from that, the DA is being really petty.
Why? What do you mean?
He is trying to get a motion to make it to where I can't wear a face mask. Saying that I'm trying to hide my identity.
So that's a question I've had about these people wearing face masks after COVID. These inmates, we saw it with the preliminary hearing for Naziah Harris. And I wondered if they're doing that to hide their identity. It appears that they are, and I'm glad that the DA did get it made to where she can't wear her mask.
Everybody knows who I am. So I was like, you know what? I said, I'm just not going to wear it. I wasn't going to wear it for trial anyways because the jury needs to be able to see my face. My reactions, my emotions, my expressions, that's what they need to see.
That are non-existent. The emotions, your facial tones, your reactions that are non-existent. She is petty AF. Everything is all about her, said Tony. Yep. Robin said she really thought she was going to walk out of there. She did. Yep. Natasha said can't stand her. Of course, she brings Danny into it again. POS. Right. Veronica said another delusional that thinks she's getting out soon, like the stink, like Stefan. Yep. She doesn't know the definition of petty. Right. I love how these psychos think they're stars. Yeah. We've seen your face at trial. You showed yourself, said Rubber. Tony said, if you don't want everyone to know who you are, don't unalive your child. No doubt. And Teresa, good to see you. The face mask wearing happened in France with Giselle's 51 perpetrators trial. Oh, I didn't know that. Okay. The stink. Pamela said, exactly, Tony. Hey, Glitter is forever. Good to see you.
So, yeah. He also said that they didn't get anything off the testing.
Glitter is forever asked if the calls with Bo are on this playlist. I have 15 calls. I haven't even looked at them yet. I didn't even know they were unreleased until this morning, right before I was about to go live. This is the second call I've looked at. I honestly have no idea who all's in these calls, but I am going to be working on getting them out in videos on my channel after the live, and then probably some tomorrow too. Veronica said her lawyer frustrated me so much, and with his own clicking nonstop. Yep. Okay, Sherry Ann, have a good day, love. So did Leilani go through withdrawals after she was arrested? Maybe, but withdrawals off of that aren't as bad as like withdrawal off of opiates and things. I don't know if I'm debating on whether I'll release any tomorrow or not. I'll try to get some out today, at least these 5 in videos on my channel, but I don't know because tomorrow I'm supposed to be, it's observing Madeline's death and the day Sebastian went missing. So I'll probably not put out any videos, but I'll dump the other 10 after that on Wednesday morning, and we can go through those in the live too.
Quentin's remains. They do.
Oh, hold on.
And I agree with you.
Well,
I backed it up. Hold on.
He also said that they didn't get anything off the testing of Quentin's remains. They do. And I agree with you.
Well,
but what did the attorneys? Yes, I said yes, and I agree with you. But what did the attorney say? Hello?
He needs to come home.
Can you hear me?
It froze.
We all need to come home.
Can you hear me? Hello?
Do you hear me?
Says I have good connection.
Hello?
Hello? Hello?
Oh, goodness. Sorry, y'all.
I guess she is missing the connection. I don't know. She acting like she can't hear me. Hello?
God, I turned it up right as she screams. Sorry.
Hello? Can you hear me now? I might have to call her. Hello? Hello?
Did she stick it in her mouth?
Hello.
Did she just stick that in her mouth? A earphone, like the things you put in your ears. My daughter was like, stick what in her mouth? She walked in and heard me saying, did she just stick that in her mouth? And she said, stick what in her mouth? I'm about to play it again. Bad Girl said, Quentin's remains. What is he, a dead dog? Yeah. Meanwhile, Billy Joe is crying. I'm so sorry, Mima. Oh yeah, tomorrow is a sad day. That's why I'm gonna be doing a day of silence in remembrance of them. Billy Joe, she's talking about him as a person, saying he needs to come home. She wants to lay him to rest. So I'm playing this again. It looked like she stuck it in her mouth.
Missing the connection. I don't know. It's like she can't hear me. Hello?
Look. It was in her mouth. Ah.
Hello? Can you hear me now? I might have to call her. Hello? Hello? Hello?
She's just not even answering her at this point. I think she's done with the conversation.
Hello?
I can't. It's your connection. I don't know if you can hear me, but.
Can you hear me now?
Can you hear me?
Yes. Yes, I can hear you. I can hear you. Hello?
All right. So that's that one. We got 3 more. Abella said she's just gross, period. Teresa said, ew, earwax, yummy, just saying. He has said, poor Billy, she's gutted. I know it's a messy subject, but hurts my heart. It does. Glitter is forever said, she's so gross. I swear she's being such a bia. Pamela said, how many people have touched that? I don't know. I don't know if it's only hers or other people have touched it. Yuck. Rachel said she's just out of touch with reality and so selfish. Yep. Hio said, yeah, Abellis, we did in True Crime Addict. I didn't overhear. We have so many to remember. Oh, okay. Reminds me of disgusting Chris Watts eating his earwax. Ew. That's gross. I didn't follow the Chris Watts trial very much. Danny said, after I was cleaning my dog's ears this very morning, y'all. Sicko. Ugh. It's gross. Aw. How sweet. Tony said, I do believe Billy cared for Quentin, but she could have protected him more, in my opinion. I agree. I don't think she saw anything coming that did come, to be fair. Yeah, Gannon had a future, too, that was stolen. All right, this one's only 6 minutes. Let me get it pulled up so y'all can see it. All right.
Hello. I don't know what happened. It said I had full connection and I could hear you and see you just fine.
Okay, so this is the same day. She's finishing out the phone call. So I guess she just got reconnected and she called back because it's the September 17th, 2024, 1:33 p.m. And so she's just got reconnected from the phone call we just saw, and they're finishing their conversation.
Full connection and I could hear you and see you just fine.
I had full connection, so I don't know.
But pretty much, I'll be honest with you, my attorney says that he swears that he believes something happened between 2:30 and 5:45 a.m. And that's just what he thinks. His theory is something happened between 2:30 and 5:45 a.m. So, but did you message me? Yeah, I was about to. Like, I came on here by the phone. I was about to. when I seen it again. He said there probably won't be another court date. He said there's a possibility that there can be, but there probably won't be another court date.
Just call me.
Between now and trial. He's thinking that he really expects my trial to go on, whatever. But what I want to know is what the attorney said about Quentin.
She's worried about what the attorney said about Quentin because she thinks she's going to get out of this, in my opinion. I know the Watts case better than any other case in my life. Oh, really, Veronica? Maybe I have to have you come up one day so we can talk about it. I'm about to throw up. This biatch is so nasty. Ganning. Yeah, I want 5 minutes with Kutisha as well. Yep. Reminds me of Shrek pulling out his earwax. Jenny Jen. Meemaw said, I have to go watch this case. I don't know anything about it. Oh, yeah, definitely check out the trial. It'll tell you everything you need to know. Be safe, bad girl. All these children who lost their lives would have had beautiful lives ahead. Yes, they would.
He said there probably won't be another court date. He said there's a possibility that there can be, but there probably won't be another court date between now and trial. He's thinking that he really expects my trial to go on, whatever. But what I want to know is what the attorney said about Quentin.
I asked the one that I seen, and I didn't see the Hilliard guy. I seen the other guy. I asked him if
what
he
did
got
Purse say?
anything for you to sign, because Derek was supposed to be too, and I didn't see.
But
Derek.
you said that you went up to somebody and asking them about Quentin. Did they give you an answer?
So he said no, he hadn't seen him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I asked Hilliard today, and he said that he wasn't sure, but he knows that, but he's pretty sure that the testing's done on him, that they couldn't get anything to further the case. So.
Bridge is almost done.
No, they just had to write down my information, and they're going to give me a call back.
Yeah. So that's that. Frustrating, I know. So.
Yeah.
I'm hoping so too. Yeah. Something had upset me earlier though is that Hilliard literally looked at me and said, to be honest with you, he said, I don't think anybody is going to figure out what happened.
Yeah, maybe one day we can do a deep dive of the Chris Watts case. I don't know much about it, so it'd be interesting to pull what they have on it. I mean, I know that he was having an affair with Nicole Kissinger, and he killed his wife who was pregnant with their son and put the two girls in the oil well things. That's about all I know about it.
So
I want Quentin taken. I want to take care of everything for Quentin before the kids come home. So I'm hoping
so too.
Do this very soon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something had upset me earlier though is that
rest.
Hilliard literally looked at me and said, to be honest with you, he said, I don't think anybody is going to figure out what happened.
Hold on a minute. I'm going to replay that because they were both talking. So let's see what Leilani said first, and then I'll see what she was saying, what Billy Joe was saying.
So too. Yeah.
I want to lay him to rest and have peace.
Something had upset me earlier though is that Hilliard literally looked at me and said, to be honest with you, he said, I don't think anybody is going to figure out what happened.
So she said, I mean, I'm sure y'all could hear it. She don't think that anybody's going to be able to figure out what happened. And Billy Joe is saying that I want to lay him to rest.
Yeah.
Something had upset me earlier though is that Hilliard literally looked at me and said, to be honest with you,
sorry.
He said,
everything for Quentin before the kids come home. So I'm hoping that we can do this.
I'm hoping so.
I want to take care of everything for Quentin before the kids come home. So
she said, I want to take care of everything for Quentin before the kids come home.
I'm hoping that we can do this.
I'm hoping so too.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that we can do this for something, you know.
Yeah. Something had upset me earlier though is that Hilliard literally looked at me.
She said, I want to lay him to rest and have peace. I think she said of mind.
And said, to be honest with you, he said, I don't think anybody is going to figure out what happened.
And then Leilani saying, I do too. And to be honest with you, I don't think anybody's going to be able to figure out what happened. So she really thought that she was going to get out of this. She thought she was walking out of jail. She did. Mima, yes, this case is over. It went to trial in October. Lemon Lime said at least Chris Watts confessed, right? I can't stand these people like Leilani that will never own up. Yeah, it irritates me. As an R into things made you sick, snot and wax. Yeah. I was Facebook friends with Shannon Watts briefly before she was gone. Oh, wow. I'm sorry, Tony. Ali X said the judge decided only the jurors could hear it, but some of her conversations with the drug dealer were spicy. Yes, they were. I know the Watts and Gannon's case really well also. Harmony, Quentin, and Evelyn also tragic. Yeah. Fun fact, you were too? Really? That's interesting.
Me and said, to be honest with you, he said, I don't think anybody is going to figure out what happened. He said, unless the person who did it decides to confess. So that had me a little hysterical earlier. I already got my little cries out of that or whatever. So he said the most that we can do is put him to rest and really move on is what he said, which kind of upset me too, because I was like, this isn't something that you just move on from. But that's what he was saying. I do too. Trust me, I do too. But I'm telling you now, so, I mean.
Right.
But yeah, I thought it was petty for the attorney, DA to say that he wants a motion stating that I'm not allowed to wear my mask because he believes I'm hiding my identity.
Again, ma'am, you're petty. You're petty. I don't see any accountability or remorse either. These monsters are selfish. Rachel said, I don't see any accountability or remorse, which is absolutely right. Rachel also said, she's so selfish and just talks over her mom. It could be a bad connection, but yeah, I agree. Chaz said, all of these monsters are selfish. Yes, they are. I mean, you have to be selfish to be able to hurt your child like that. I'm sorry.
But yeah, I thought it was petty for the attorney, DA to say that he wants a motion stating that I'm not allowed to wear my mask.
So it's repeating again for some reason. I guess the connection's bad.
Because he believes I'm hiding my identity. But how am I hiding my identity when everybody knows? Huh?
Well, maybe you are. I mean, the publicity that became publicity.
That was my whole point behind it, and I explained that to him. And my attorney said that he understands, but he also recommends that I don't wear one during trial as well, because the jury is going to need to be able to see my reaction.
She said, so Billy Joe is saying, with the publicity the case has gotten, you should be a little bit more concerned with people being able to pick out features on you so far.
Facial expressions. He said it's going to be their way to connect to me or whatever, and all that stuff. I said, okay.
She said, and if it's to where you do get home, and if you do get to come home, you could try to have a life. And I'll play it again and see what Leilani was saying.
Okay, I said, I understand that. I said, but you do understand why I was trying to at least, make myself not as noticeable. I mean, everybody already knows my face, but.
Okay, so now, she's done. Billy Joe was done talking. That's what Billy Joe said. Now I'm going to play it so we can hear what Leilani says. I'm sure you can hear what she's saying.
He wants a motion stating that I'm not allowed to wear my mask because he believes I'm hiding my identity. But how am I hiding my identity when everybody knows?
Well, maybe you are.
Huh?
I mean, the publicity that became publicity that the case has got, maybe you should be a little bit more.
That was my whole point behind it, and I explained that to him.
You
And
know,
my attorney said
people
that he
being able to
understands,
pick out
but he also
pieces
recommends
on
that I
you
don't wear one during
to where,
trial as well,
you know,
because
if
the
you do get to
the
come
jury is
home,
going to need to be able to see my reactions, my facial.
So she said that her attorney said he understands, but not to wear one during trial so the jury can see her emotions. So evidently Billy Joe thought there might be a possibility that Leilani come home. And I think that I've heard that, but I don't know. I'd have to look it up before I could say for sure. She is very narcissistic, Tony. Hio said the lady that almost won the Nashville Star Show, Melissa, they were friends and they all went to dinner with our team. Oh my goodness, that's crazy, Hio. That is insane. Blue Giraffe said, I wonder if Leilani, Megan, and people like them admire Casey Anthony or do they hate her because she got away with it? That's a good question. I wonder. I get annoyed when people talk over each other too. Teresa, it could be a connection issue.
try to have a life.
That was my whole point behind it, and I explained that to him. And my attorney said that he understands, but he also recommends that I don't wear one during trial as well, because the jury is going to need to be able to see my reactions, my facial expressions. He said it's going to be their way to connect to me or whatever, and all that stuff. I said, okay. I said, I understand that. But I said, but you do understand why I was trying to at least, make myself not as noticeable. I mean, everybody already knows my face, but after a while of not seeing it, maybe, So there's that. But I'm going to take his advice and not wear a mask during my next, if there's another court date, I won't wear it. And during trial, I won't wear it. So.
Yeah.
That's the end of that one. So Billy Joe appeared to say, yeah, no doubt, Abellis. Billy Joe appeared to say, well, if you come home, you might need to hide your features or, kind of be a little bit more private. I don't know. This one is a 20-minute phone call. So this one is from August 23rd.
Hello?
It actually worked.
Yeah. Well, what happened? Why did it take so long for you to get there?
Okay, so this morning when they were getting ready to transport me, I noticed they didn't have my clothes, so I was like, well, hey, I normally dress out. Maybe I want to make a phone call and check on that. They said no, and they probably said no just because I'm an inmate telling them what I'm supposed to do, So they didn't call and check on it. So I get there and I wait hours, Mom. I mean, I was there at 7 o'clock this morning. So I'm waiting hours and hours and hours and hours. And finally they come and get me and take me down to the holding cell next to the courtroom. And then I guess the officers let them know that I was not dressed out. And the judge was just like, okay, well, she's not comfortable with that. She doesn't want me exposed like that. So she had called the sheriff's office, had somebody get my court clothes, bring it up to the courtroom, take me back to the other holding cell so I could get dressed, and then back to the holding cell by the courtroom, and then out there.
Yeah.
Just by the way, if you guys want these jail calls, I have these 5 that I'm playing on here today. They are on my Patreon. And I'm going to add the other 10 too as soon as I go through them and make a video of them. But these 5 are on there right now if you guys are interested in that. And I think the Nightbot is dropping the Patreon link periodically.
Well, I heard Melanie's name today.
Yep. I heard it Wednesday. They told me what she's saying. Which is a whole bunch of bullshit, Mama. One of the things.
What is her? Melanie.
Melanie Bowling.
So again, that's the girl that said she performed a seance during the trial. What are y'all talking about? Yeah, the night bot. The night bot comes during the day.
What's her?
She
What's
said
her
that
last
she did a
name?
seance. Bowling. Like, I'm going bowling. Mama, she's sitting there saying that she did a seance and she got in contact with Quentin's spirit and she had it recorded and she asked questions and she kept on hearing Little Neck and all this. This is the stuff that she's saying. This is like what they have on that piece of paper that they were talking about that they turned in about her interview or something like that. And then Mama, me and her barely talked for like years. I mean, we'd talk maybe once every 2 months, and then sometimes 6 months would go by or longer would go by. She's sitting there saying that I had told her that I wish that I had an abortion. I've never said that. Okay. She said that Bubba, that I said that.
You know what I mean?
Billy,
It's frustrating because I don't know where it came from, you know.
Thank you, Hio.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they gonna catch her if she's allowed to get up there, but that's just the thing, like, Mom, like, she said that she did a seance.
So Abella said no emotions when she talks about Quentin is disgusting. It is, because she didn't care about Quentin. That's why she was able to dispose of him literally it's the same as Megan Boswell, literally in a bag with other trash, other food scraps. She threw that child's body in there. Like a used feminine. It irritates me. Hio said she's having so much fun. She is talking for the cellmates, not for her mama, in my opinion. Oh, yeah, she might be talking loud and rolling her eyes and stuff. Yep. And that goes with her petty state of mind, her immaturity. She is talking for the cellmates. That was a good point, Hio. You made a good point there. She is talking for the cellmates, and she's not talking necessarily for her mama to hear her, but for the other cellmates to hear her. Y'all going to sort her out?
For Christ's sakes.
Let me back that up just a smidge.
Didn't they catch her? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they gonna catch her if she's allowed to get up there, but that's just the thing, like, Mom, like, she said that she did a seance, for Christ's sakes.
Yeah.
I really feel like her coming up with stuff like that or whatever is like, I feel like they're making a mockery of what happened to my son.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, Foxy.
Well, he came back there to speak to me. I know y'all.
I was trying to figure that out. I'm going to have to go back and overlay him. I don't know if I can. I need to fix that. I might have to cut off the first half of this live because I really am not trying to be. That's not going to cover it either. I put the banner up trying to cover it, but I just now realized that the phone number's there. So I might have to oh, thank you, Abellis. That was so sweet. Thank you. I might have to private this live and then just put the videos out later. Hio said if they did, it's public information. Her name is out there in the internet. She puts her name out on the internet as well. She does. I'm going to leave that up though, because that covers it. You don't remember conversations because you were strung out. Yep. She is very public in Queen Bee's chat. Didn't Billy move out of the house? I don't think she had moved out of the house. I think that she was just working. She has stated she doesn't care if you put her name out there, just don't dox her grandkids. Okay. Oh, okay. Well, help me go back and blur it after the live. I try to edit it in YouTube so it stays like as a live, but
he came back there. He said, I just want you to know that they have no hard evidence against you. He said there's no video evidence, there's no DNA evidence, there's no forensic evidence, there's no cause of death, there's no time of death, there's no, he said.
I mean, and that's true. They didn't have all of that. It was pretty much a circumstantial case, but luckily the jury saw through her BS and convicted her.
He said that it's circumstantial and speculation.
Yeah.
Calling my name,
which is why he was trying to admit those personal evidence or whatever that my attorneys argued against. I don't really understand everything that happened, to be honest with you. Like, I never do. Like, I never understand everything that's going on. So, I mean, like.
Well, when it us, I was like, how long before we need to get back?
That's what I thought too.
Tommy said, I think it's over.
Well, yeah, I was.
So.
You what?
I'll probably be talking to the prosecutor side. They want to call me and set up a time to talk next week.
Okay.
So I'm asking about Quentin.
I've asked too, Mom, but they're going to tell you exactly what I said. There is testing being done, and until that's done, they will not release him.
It's your other attorneys. The other attorneys that you had are the ones that have him on hold.
No, he's not.
Not these attorneys.
Yeah, no, but that's not what you're not getting at understanding, though. When I asked him about it, he said that no defense attorney has the power to have him on hold. It's the DA that has him on hold. It's the prosecution. They're the only ones who has the power because they are technically representing the state.
Well, whenever I go talk to him, I'm gonna take an attorney with me.
Hey, Bogart.
I would do that. I would record the conversation.
So, yeah, first she called and said her baby was missing, that her boyfriend dropped the baby off at the babysitter's, and that he just disappeared. And then the police were looking at her for quite a while. I think it was like a month or two. And then they found part of his remains at the landfill, because they found out that she was on video going to the dumpster at like the wee early hours of the morning. She threw trash away. They found a part of his skull, and that's all they ever found of Quentin. And his remains were sent home. I think he's laid to rest now. I mean, that they spent 2 or 3 months searching that landfill, and that was all they found. It's good to see you, Bogart.
So that way can't nothing get twisted. But anyways, like I said, the defense attorneys, the public defender's office, they don't have the power to put a hold on him. They're not the state. They represent clients. But the state has the power. They're the ones who has a hold on him.
Oh, wow. I'm trying to find out what I can do.
One way or another.
Yeah.
6 weeks from now. 6 weeks from now after trial.
Your attorney
one way or another.
Your attorney told me that he wasn't going to talk to me, but if I want to talk to the prosecutors, then talk to them as long as I told the truth. I said, well, that's all I am going to tell is the truth.
Yeah.
So I wonder if Billy Joe did talk to the prosecutors. Jackie said she's as disgusting as the other piece of trash we saw go down the other week. I can't even remember her name. Yeah, I will say Evelyn's name. Evelyn was the poor child who passed away. Goats on a rooftop? That is so cute. Foxy said, I didn't notice either until I put it up on my living room TV. Yeah. Megan, I said Morgan. Love to hunt. Says, poor Quentin Simon was abused before and after death. Thank you. I mean, sorry. Yes, he was. My daughter just brought in a package from somewhere. Oh, I know what that is. That's my yarn. Teresa said, when the lady who found part of his skull testified, I almost cried about her emotional damage. Yeah, it was bad. It was horrific.
He told me about it. Y'all two have very different perspectives about how that conversation went.
Okay, so what was his perspective?
That you were acting entitled to all the information going on with the case.
Did I act entitled?
That's what he was saying, that you were being very pushy when he was trying to tell you no. That like he wasn't going to speak about that stuff. Whatever you were asking, whatever specific questions you were asking, he was just like.
I spoke to him. He spoke down on me and harsh at me. I didn't even, all I said, well, I was trying to just kind of figure, I know there was some motions or something like that was filed, you know, and I only know that from the news. And he talked harsh to me from the very beginning. But I'm sure you believe your attorney.
No. I told him that I think that it's probably something in between the middle between what y'all two said. Okay. I think it's something in the middle. He probably talked down without realizing he talked down, and maybe you being concerned or
I didn't even have a chance to, literally all I said to him was that I would like to talk to him because of the motions that was just filed.
He didn't say, he didn't say anything about no motions about Michelle. But that could still come if it is from the DA on the 17th. He did tell me about Melanie, and no, Paul is not being sought out for the prosecution. Not that he knows of.
Excuse me. Foxy said, I can't stand when people talk while eating. It is so gross. Who meowed? I don't know. It might have been the kids outside. Basil thinking, could I jump on a rooftop too? It was a sad and horrific trial for everyone except Leilani. I agree with that 100%. Love to hunt. Mom is dressed pretty sharp. She's been dressed pretty sharp in these phone calls. She's looking nice. Yeah, it's crazy. She's just acting like she's cool. Yeah, she is. She feels cool. She feels validated. Veronica said she's disgusting in all the ways. Malibu Surf, good to see you. Said no one will mistake her for having gone to finishing school. That's for sure. No doubt.
So, did you hear when they said that Michelle and Talia have something to say about some type of physical abuse?
Yeah.
I wonder, I'm going to make sure I tell my prosecution about Michelle's background, which they probably already know. But if there was physical abuse on my kids, why didn't they say something to somebody else? And why did they turn around and say that the kids never had any marks on them? They were perfectly fine, after they lied the first time in their videos. I don't know. My attorney says that he thinks that he's like standing in the middle of the road right here. He said the only reason he's standing in the middle of the road about which way this could go is because of how publicized this is. He says that if it wasn't for the publicity or whatever and the possibility of biased jury or whatever, he would know for a fact we would win this.
Wow, I did not talk entitled to him. I barely even heard before he came down on me.
I'm curious as to how, like, they keep saying that how Billy Joe speaks. Billy Joe, from what I've seen, seems like a type of person that's going to tell you like it is and not put up with any bullshit. But I don't think she seems like an entitled person. She says she got cussed out by one attorney, and she's talking entitled to this one. Like, I don't understand that. She doesn't seem that way to me. I could watch the goats all day long too. Love to Hunt said, I can't remember if Billy even took the stand for either the defense or the prosecution. I don't think she did. As a matter of fact, I'm pretty sure she didn't, but she came in during sentencing and spoke and cried. Foxy said, Amber Heard School of Dramatic Arts and Law, Lonnie Simon Charm School. Yeah. Nightbot dropped the Patreon link. Again, if y'all want these calls, these are on there right now, and then I'll release the other ones here soon. Teresa said, sounds like Leilani's attorney was BSing her. Maybe. Bye, Meemaw. Have a good day. Everything is me, Rachel. Leilani Simon finishing academy sounds bougier. It does. Everything is me. I'm going to put the Nightbot back up to cover the information. Okay.
I don't know. I know which one you talked to. The one you talked to was Hilliard.
Yep. I barely even spoke a word. I even said, damn, I wish I would have talked to the other guy. At least the other guy had, you know what I mean? I wasn't.
Yeah. Hers is much nicer. And civil. I don't know. I know my attorney said that he feels like the investigators targeted me from the beginning, and that when they came to the house and told y'all that I did this and don't remember it, they were trying to manipulate have y'all emotionally manipulate me into coming up with something. And I did. I had so many different types of fucking dreams. I speculated, and they used them as statements against me.
Ma'am, them dreams, you know damn well were not dreams. See, this is why I requested this part of it. I wanted to see what her thought process was. She admitted to a lot of things and claimed that it was dreams, but it wasn't. Teresa said, can you imagine these people trying to converse with other me's in prison? That's going to be interesting. Hey, Janet. Janet said, this girl is gross. Yep. Love to Hunt say, bougie Leilani. Bougie. Oh, baloney. Leilani didn't believe in her innocence at all. Lonnie Simon finishing school sounds bougier. Yeah, I read that earlier. Looking for a comment big enough. Oh, okay.
So I was like, well, this could happen, and then it could have happened, you know, whatever. I said, they're like, what do you think could have happened? I said, there's a million different things that could have happened. Yeah.
Ma'am, we all know what happened. You put him in the dumpster. There's not a million things that could have happened. Stop it.
But I don't know. We'll see. I just want to get over with. I want Quentin to have a burial. I want somebody to have some type of closure, even if it's not answers. At least we can know that he's put to rest.
This irritates the shit out of me. And Billy Joe knows that she's lying her ass off. I want closure. I want Quentin put to rest. No, you don't, or you wouldn't have done what you did.
I have a good feeling about trial. I'm not gonna lie to you. And if they decide to make this case a cold case after that, I will get a private investigator as soon as I have the money to do so and figure out, because I'm not gonna give up on my baby.
Look at her. Do y'all hear this bullshit? Ma'am. This calls for it. I cannot.
What? A bullshit? A bullshit? A bullshit. A bullshit.
Bullshit. Billy Joe's like, yeah, I'm not having none of that. You lying. Lying little big liar said.
Y'all stop somewhere?
Yeah, we're fixing to go in here and get us something to eat.
She's dressed nice going out to eat.
I got hot dogs that look like they were left out all day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe don't commit crimes, don't kill your child. Then you won't have to have hot dogs that look like they've sat out all day. Chewing that gel food like it's Lord have mercy. She's off her head, for fuck's sake. Yeah, she's definitely off of her head. As she shovels more food into her mouth, she makes me sick. Yep. That covers it. Well, I don't want to put that up there either. Oh, Lordy. All right. We saw your car at the dumpster. Yep. I have more sympathy for Billy Joe after watching these calls. I do too. To be honest with you, I do too.
Better.
Oh, I got one of those. It's in my windowsill behind me, next to my orange coat. Now, where's my face? You'll be able to see it. Yeah, hold on. It's there. Okay, look, hold on.
I see.
Hold on. Hey.
What's happening?
Thank y'all for coming. It meant a lot. Thomas, your beard is getting whiter so fast.
Oh, hey, you don't have to tell me. I'm the one wearing it.
Well, I came in the courtroom. I almost wanted to comment on it, but I was told, do not react. Just sit there and look straight ahead. So I sat there and looked straight ahead.
Oh, getting old.
Yeah, but I mean, like, you had more brown than that not that long ago. The last time I saw you, you had brown.
Hey, there ain't no brown no more.
Hell no.
I'm going to have to end up shaving mustache and all and just go slick face.
You might have to. I think you got the hair.
I'm talking about somebody that look weird.
And then you got the hair on your temples right there. Your sideburns turning gray too.
No, that's all the shit is. The way it goes. The way it is. Hair's getting crazy too. I have to wear a cap all the time. It's so darn crazy.
Yeah. Mine's crazy too. But I don't have a cap.
Yeah. Mine's all there. Ooh. Ooh.
Oh, you cap, ma'am. Very much so.
Told you my hair is still longer than yours.
Oh my God, you've been growing it longer than I have.
I also cut it half off. Like, I don't know.
I just started.
Chaz, I don't know what you're talking about. Do these need a reminder? I keep putting that up because I was trying to cover the information. When I get a comment, that one's big enough. Now I can use Foxy's. Foxy says, she looks like one of those clowns you squirt the water in the mouth to win a prize at the carnival. Yeah. Jackie said, do they exercise inside? Because everyone's going to die early of heart attacks. You can exercise. It's definitely up to you. But a lot of people do. Beach Bum said, cover your mouth. Beach Bum also said she's flirting. I think that's her stepdad. I hope she's not flirting. A reminder of what she has done. Okay. I see what you're saying. Yeah, the laughing is ridiculous. Like, ma'am, I can't with her.
They're growing it back. It's getting there. See?
Yeah, I had a good day.
It's coming. Takes time. Oh.
I was worried the pants mom got wasn't gonna fit.
Oh yeah.
But I put them on and they fit. I said, oh.
Hey.
I've been trying to lose weight the past few months, so
Yeah.
it's actually hard to do when they feed you nothing but carbs.
Yeah, well, that's all I eat. I eat everything that's bad for you.
We get noodles and mashed potatoes and bread and cornbread and cake and gravy.
Beach Bum,
That's
hopefully
good
it
stuff.
would. I don't know.
They know what people like.
Not the way they make it. It's not good stuff. Thomas, you wouldn't even eat the simple spaghetti they make. And I say it's simple. It's meat and sauce. You wouldn't even eat that.
I'll be having to order out.
If you ever went to jail, Thomas, if you ever went to jail, you would starve.
I know.
You would eat that PB&J. That was it.
I know. I'll be swapping stuff. trying to get them. All right.
Yeah, you'd be eating the PB&Js. That'd be it.
Yeah. Ain't but 2 minutes left, so I'll let you see your mama. All right.
All right, love you.
Love you too. Bye. Oh.
Where are you at?
I'm in it. I'm just
Where'd you go?
waiting for it.
Where'd I go?
I don't know. There it goes.
Abella said, oh, poor baby, just carbs. Quentin doesn't get anything to eat. You biatch. Yep. Tony said she's trying to lose weight while stuffing her face. No doubt. Make that make sense. It's that time of year. At least the daylight's around a bit longer, or should I call it the gray light? Daylight's been a little longer. It's made me a little bit happier because I ain't gonna lie. I've been depressed this past week or so. I've been real depressed. Maybe it's because it's the time period when Maddie died and all of that. I don't know. I've just been real depressed the past couple of days. Stoic said, I think they might be relieved that she's finally done and locked up. I would be. It's hard. I mean, I wouldn't want my child to be locked up, but like Chaz said, Mama looks tired, and I think she is. I think she is. For sure.
New glasses?
I've had these for a little while.
I just always see you with your work glasses on, I guess.
Yeah.
Because aren't those like safety prescription glasses or something like that?
What the hell was that? She barked or something. Was it a damn burp or something? I'm gonna play that again.
New glasses?
I've had these for a little while.
I just always see you with your work glasses on, I guess.
Yeah.
Because aren't those like safety prescription?
What the hell was that? She's just barking out of nowhere. Love to Hunt said, we don't ever need to see 500 pounds of Liz Lonnie. No doubt. Teresa said, night sky, smell of fresh cut grass, good food. I'm excited about my garden. I can't imagine some people put on weight and some lose weight. Yeah. Oh, thank you guys. I'm okay. Robin said it was a hiccup. Janet said it was a mouth fart. Sound like she barked though, didn't it? Crazy.
Prescription glasses or something like that. I didn't even move.
You're already back in your cell?
Yeah. They brought me straight right on back here as soon as I had them take those restraints off me as soon as they could, though. I hate wearing them things. I can't even walk without feeling like a munchkin.
Fit?
Hmm?
Did the shoes fit?
They were a little big because they were 9. It should have been an 8.5, but they will do.
I got you a 9 because of your feet not being in shoes. I didn't want your feet to hurt.
Yeah, the other ones, the black ones, I think those were 8.5. They hold my feet good. These ones, when I put them on, there was like you could see the space left at my heel. It wasn't much, just enough for you to see. My foot slide just a little bit, but it's fine. It's been so long since I wore shoes. If I put tennis shoes on, mama, or heels or something like that, they would kill my feet.
I just didn't want your feet to hurt.
She's still so caring. I mean, that's her child, so she's going to be, but she's still very caring. I mean, she put in the extra effort in buying her shoes or getting her shoes, pretending to have Tourette's, that she got a size bigger because she hasn't been in shoes for so long. Jackie said it sounded like someone choking someone else in the background. Just another day inside. Lord, I hope not. Allie said hiccups. She may have Tourette's. I hope not. Natasha said, yes, Jackie, I couldn't stomach most of the food as I don't eat meat. I could only handle the breakfast, PB&J. Them bologna sandwiches we got in there were like freaking 17 days past their expiration. They would be like neon green and neon blue. It was the nastiest stuff. Yeah, Stoic said, yeah, you can just tell they're drained and depleted. It's tough to see. It is. It is. Love to Hunt said, don't worry, Lilani. You keep eating and you'll grow into them. Natasha said, that's all my hubby wants to eat. We're total opposites in that way. My hubby likes to eat a lot of meat too. Jackie said, I reckon I'd go into starvation mode. Some people do. Hey, Rhodey. Good to see you. Yeah, them bologna sandwiches, awful.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was more worried about the pants. I looked at them, I said a 12. Well, let's try. They slid right on. I said, well, I lost some weight then if that's the case.
Well, I was hoping the pants would be interchangeable with some other stuff you have, and you should have plenty now.
They are. That's why I asked for khakis. And I'm glad that you did what were those, like straight legs or whatever? Because it'd give a different look versus my skinny jeans.
All right, that phone call cut off there, and then I've got one more to play for us today. I like meat and potatoes too. That was the kids. They put air in. They have balloons. They put air in it, and then they'll pull where you blow into it and make that sound. I've got the window open behind me, so they're outside doing that, and that's what that sound was. If y'all heard it. Beach Bum said, I'm enjoying nice fresh spinach salad with Greek yogurt dressing. Sorry, you can't have any, Lilani. I don't believe people should be starved. There's a lot of carbs in there. So she's not going to be starving at all. I love to Hunt said if she was a size 12 at trial, then I'm a freaking 6, no doubt. Oh, it seems the mom and grandpa misses him and is crying. Poor Quentin. Yep. Stoic said, oh yeah, those sandwiches, they're not to be trifled with. They got these cheese sandwiches out here in California that will absolutely block your digestion for a month. Yep. Them things are absolutely insane. Okay. So this last one, Billy Joe appears to be at work, and it's another 20-minute one. Do. All right. I was seeing what y'all are saying. All right. So she appears to be at work on a construction site. So maybe she is a welder. Maybe I got that long haul truck driver part wrong. Oh, this one is September 3rd at 12:49. And Leilani appears to be in medical again. Fresh out the shower.
Yeah, I'll give it to you. Finally, I've only gotten one phone call. That is so ladylike. And, huh?
She burped. She said she burped. She's like, I'm having none of it. I'm glad you made it home here. Jackie said, me too, Abellis. I'm on 11 different prescription meds. Oh my goodness. I used to be on quite a few for bipolar, but I went the natural route, and I'm doing a lot better, actually. Beach bum, that is her mother. Teresa said, I don't know about other places. Utah State Prison had a minimum calorie requirement for inmate meals, but no nutrition or vitamin requirement. That's interesting. We used to get, like, there would be some kind of fruit, some kind of green, and then whatever meat they had. I got a lot of stuff off of commissary. We would get like six of us would get separate things off of commissary, and then at night you would throw in a couple of things. I would throw in, like, maybe one night I'd throw in a pack of summer sausage, and then we'd make these big huge burritos with ramen noodles and summer sausage and cheese and all of the chili. They had little packs of chili you put in there, and then we would cut it into a piece for each person. So you would buy basically the stuff to make the burrito yourself, but we would throw in certain things and make it last for like a whole week between 6 people. It's pretty cool. Hio said, I just want to say how much I have been watching the chat, and I'm so very appreciative of how respectful our chat is always. This mother is hurting for her daughter and her grandbaby. Thank you all. Yes, thank you all for being so respectful and so kind. You guys always are. I love our channel for that. The Speculating family is amazing in that aspect. You guys are always so respectful and kind, and I appreciate that. Hey, Sunflower May, good to see you.
Huh? Oh, yeah?
Today.
The ladies in here said hi, Mom.
Yeah.
I said the ladies in here said hi, Mom.
Huh?
She said hi. Well, you're not the only one feeling a little burpy today. Jenna's been over here burping ever since she got up. Yeah, I mean, full on, I can hear it from the other side of her door. I'm just like, God damn, girl. Yeah.
Has she?
You need to quit them things. So you need to quit them things. So get a vape, Mama.
Yeah.
Get a vape. You don't have to go cold turkey. Get a vape. That'll still give you the nicotine and to give you an excuse to go outside.
I'm trying to light me a cigarette.
And then later on.
Yeah, I know.
Oh,
I know.
I think you can do it again. I do.
You know, there was only one time I was able to quit smoking cigarettes.
Get a vape.
That's whenever I made that deal with you.
At least the vapes aren't as harsh on your lungs. You already got medical issues. I just don't want you to
If you
have
never pick up another one, I'll quit.
like CPOD or something in the future. I love you too. I talked to you too. I mean, let me give you my whole face without the glasses.
It meant so much to me for
So,
you not
I
to
thought-
know that it was easy to not smoke a cigarette.
So yeah, Blue Giraffes asked why is she in medical so much. She seems really happy there. I don't know why she kept going back and forth to medical. And of course we can't know because of HIPAA laws. The only time I was in medical is because I came in on substances, and a lot of times they'll put you in there when you're coming off of substances, but I don't know what's going on with her for her to be in medical so much. I don't know if that's like where that kiosk is. That might be just where that kiosk is, and they're using the kiosk in medical. I don't know. Does her cellmate knows what she has done? She looks so relaxed. Most of the time, you know. You get papers in there that tell you your charges, your court dates, your discovery, all of that. And cellmates will get your papers, or they'll ask you, and most of the time they'll tell you, especially somebody that has been in there for a long time. Like if you've been in there, people that come in and out and all of that. So, you know, they see people who have been there for a while, they can kind of figure it out. People come in and have seen her on the news, so I'm sure they know. Natasha said, I'm not a BJ fan, but I also don't care to speak badly about her online. I'm sure she has her regrets and she has to live with that. Lulu, on the other hand, nuh-uh. Yep, exactly. Hey, Steph sells seashells. All right.
I love you too. I talked to, let me give you my whole face without the glasses. Right. So I talked.
You know, you can't even comprehend. You know, people are like, I'm gonna tell you what a mother's love is like. All your life, you're told that I love you so unconditionally. So unconditionally. I love you so much. I have unconditional love for you. And then, you know, things don't go regardless of this or anything else. I'm just
Oh no,
saying,
nobody
any
does.
situation.
Lucky for you though, I've never made that grade.
Anything that happens, whether you
Yeah.
make bad grades or bad.
This is important. I'm going to back it up. I just want to see what Leilani said, but this appears to be kind of important. She's about to lay some wisdom on her. I want to know what Leilani just said. She said, it's hard to hear, but she's about to tell Leilani about a mother's love.
I love you too. I talked to, let me give you my whole face without the glasses. Right. So I talked.
Okay, Beach Bum, good
You know,
to see you.
You can't even comprehend. You know, people are like, I'm gonna tell you what a mother's love is like. All your life, you're told that I love you so unconditionally. So unconditionally. I love you so much. I have unconditional love for you. And then, you know, things don't go regardless of this or anything else. I'm just saying, any situation.
Oh no, nobody does.
Anything that
Lucky for you though, I've never made
happens,
that grade.
whether you make.
I was muted so we could hear better. She said, oh no, nobody does. Lucky for you, I never made bad grades. Ma'am, I would say the position you're in is a lot worse than just bad grades. I'm sorry. Okay. Having to explain what a mother's love is like to a mother. Good point, Natasha. Bad Girl said, I'm glad she's getting back in the swing of things. Tell her I said hello. Talking about somebody else. Yeah, we all make you know, bad decisions that we all wish we could change. I mean, I can guarantee you. But you know, like I said, I don't want to be hard on Billie Joe because I know she has regrets, and I know, I don't think she would have ever thought in 1,000 years that what happened would have happened.
You make bad grades or bad choices or, you know, anything like that. I don't get to choose what unconditional
love nobody does.
Like.
Lucky for you though, I've never made that grade. Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying?
Well, unconditional means.
For somebody to say that there's a limit to unconditional love, they're wrong.
I talked to Mima yesterday. I said I talked to Mima yesterday.
Right? Look it up.
She's not even listening. Like, this is really important for Billie Joe to get her to understand this. And she's not even listening. She's just moving on and disregarding everything she said. That's a really important thing to hear about a mother's unconditional love. And Leilani's just passing it off, moving on with the conversation. That's really upsetting for me. Love to Hunt said, I think she's there mostly with her alikes. It's very sad that Leilani didn't comprehend any of that. Her mother wasn't just referring to bad grades, but that's all Leilani took from it. Yeah, she didn't care. She didn't care. Petty said, sick burn, and you'll never understand a mother's love. She won't. But yeah, Leilani interrupted and ignored her mother. And then she ends it with, just look it up. I mean, it's so sad. That was really important for her to listen and just listen to what Billy Joe was saying.
I'm just saying, any
I backed it up a little bit.
situation, anything that happens, whether you make bad grades or bad choices or, anything like that.
Oh, no,
You
nobody
get
does.
to choose
Lucky
what
for you, though, I've never made bad
unconditional
grades.
love looks like.
Yeah. Well, unconditional means.
But you know what I'm saying?
Unconditional.
For somebody to say that there's a limit to unconditional
I talked to
love,
Mima yesterday.
they're wrong.
I said I talked to Mima yesterday.
Right?
Look it up. She told me that she's struggling with everything going on. I don't think she necessarily met with me. I think she met with the passing of Uncle James and then Kenny, Uncle Kenny. What having stage 4
Yeah, she
brain
said
cancer.
y'all talk for a minute. What y'all talk about?
Yeah, no, she said. I said so. Stage 4 normally, but stage.
She just moved on with the conversation because she had to. Leilani wasn't even trying to hear what she had to say. Stoic said, must be nice to not immediately be claimed by a gang in there, to not have to risk being shanked, to take a step foot into the bathroom. Sorry, I just realized she's basically having a slumber party. She doesn't care, like you were saying, but yeah, some prisons and jails and things like that are a lot harder. It's a lot harder for men than it is for women. For men, if you don't get affiliated in with a group, you have to be very careful because they will do things like that. It's not that bad on the women's side. On the women's side, it's a lot of gossip and things. I mean, it sucks nonetheless, but it's not nearly as bad as the men's side, unless you get into like really bad places. Like I imagine Detroit, Michigan would probably be bad even on the women's side, or Chicago.
She's struggling with everything going on. I don't think she necessarily met with me. I think she met with the passing of Uncle James and then Kenny, Uncle Kenny. Having stage 4 brain cancer or whatever.
Yeah.
Jackie, I'm sure she did have a form of ADHD of some sort.
Yeah, no, she said, I said, so stage 4, normally with stage 4, that it's too far along to do anything about. She said, yeah, it is. They're coming full of working. I was like, so just to keep them comfortable. And she said, yeah. Yeah, so, yeah, I talked to her for a minute, then I tried to change the subject because, like, I can't literally, I can only comfort so far.
That's where they're at,
Yeah. Yeah. Mama, this one lady,
I pray that I don't
talking
have to
about
live like
how she's trying to lose weight, right? She's a good woman now. I'm trying to fight to the 400 pounds. She came here yesterday and said,
I pray that I can go to
yes, I got my lunch. I said, what you got to eat? She said,
Billy Joe saying, I pray I don't have to go like that. I pray that when my time comes, I can just go to Jesus.
I got me a plate full of pasta salad, a cheeseburger, some wings, a plate full of
and that he just takes me. Billy Joe's dropping some knowledge and just being very heartfelt, and she's talking about food, Leilani. What the crap?
Fries, a couple of cupcakes. I said, you could feed all of us with that. She could have fed me, could have fed Jenna, probably could have fed this other girl with that. Everything's coming up fast. No, it didn't. For a little while, I felt like everything was going at a snail's pace, but now it's like, no, I'm hoping that I'll hear from them before the 17th. I did write them a letter with some,
well, the 7th coming up fast. It didn't feel like it for a little while, did it?
They have to notify my attorney or whatever, and if I sign it, then I agree to it. If I don't, then I'm fighting it.
Have you heard anything from your attorney yet?
I don't know what Darius got going on, but if he hurries up with that, I'll sign it. Hell yeah, why y'all white? That's like, what?
I got a feeling what they're going to try to do is serve you just before court.
It probably does look good, but I'm just thinking about like, y'all both work out in plants and nuclear.
So they're talking about serving her just before court. Hey, Genevieve, good to see you. Teresa, the mom, does look sad. Yeah, I think prison is very different. Hey, Cajun Juju, this is the Leilani Simon trial, or this is jail calls, video calls that she had, but it's the Leilani Simon. She's already had her trial and things. These are unreleased calls from beforehand. Leilani is exactly where she belongs, but after her conviction, I'm thinking things would be way worse for her because she'd be getting way less freedoms. Yeah. She seems very hypered up. No, I doubt she's doing any of the white powder there. If you guys want these jail calls, they are on my Patreon, just by the way.
I got a feeling that GFAX is going to try to serve you just before court. For your
They
right.
have to notify me first. They have to notify my attorney or whatever, and if I sign it, then I agree to it. If I don't, then I'm fighting it. I don't know what Darius got going on, but if he hurries up with that, I'll sign it.
Wow.
Hell yeah, why y'all white? That's like, what? Mama.
Leilani, we have white kitchen chairs.
It probably does look good, but I'm just thinking about like, y'all both work out in plants and nuclear, whatever. Thomas outside all the time. Man, you better tell him he's not allowed to sit at that table.
Get in there. That's so pretty.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's he's only allowed to sit in chairs that can't remember the old chairs that I ended up having to buy.
Oh no, there's people out there. It's not the people in here. It's the people next door to us that are in the group detail.
Colored one. He's only allowed.
Yeah, yeah.
This one is hard because they're talking about two different things simultaneously. So it's hard to understand as much.
What are they doing?
Yeah, it is in Atlanta. I text it to you because you're not gonna remember. It's like 923 Peachtree Street, box
really
something, Atlanta, Georgia 30309.
You need to send.
Did I tell you I got a letter? Did I tell you I got a letter from Lori not that long ago? I already responded, so she should be getting it. And I don't know.
Different.
Yeah.
You receive mail at.
Yeah,
Like
not that long
Atlanta.
ago. I mainly only had pictures of her kids. There's this one kid who had blue headphones on.
I'm not.
So I was like, no. Yeah. So I was like, no. So yeah, I got that. But
Text
I already
to me and
responded
this
to her like, I don't know.
Well,
That's all I
actually,
got. Yeah,
maybe
the
I
other
can
ones were
buy
just
Walmart.
pictures of
Please.
the baby.
You got.
So yeah.
Did you?
I don't know. There's this one with the baby that had like a Pooh Bear outfit on. So I don't know. That's what I got.
She was talking about a Pooh Bear one. I don't know if she's talking about Simon or like I'm confused with this one. How can her mama be so all up in it? That's creepy AF. Well, I mean, I don't know. She's just talking on the phone, holding it close, I suppose. Her mom should make up things like I went on a walk in the park or shopping was so much fun today. Make Leilani miss things. Yeah. I don't know. Again, I think it's hard on her because she has two children that are in prison for life now, unfortunately, and her grandson is gone.
It's in Atlanta.
I backed it up a little bit.
I text it to you because you're not gonna remember. It's like 923 Peachtree Street, box something, Atlanta, Georgia 30309.
Yeah. Text it. Text it to me and
Did I tell you I got a letter? Did I tell you I got a letter from Lori not that long ago? I already
maybe I
responded,
can
so
go
she
by
should be getting it.
Walmart.
And I I don't know.
Please.
Yeah. Yeah, not that long ago. I mainly only had pictures of her kids. There was this one
You got your
kid who had blue headphones on. So
Did
I was
you?
like, no. Yeah. So I was like, no. So yeah, I got that. But I already responded to her like, I don't know. That's all I got.
Yeah.
Yeah. The other ones were just pictures of. The baby.
So that she's getting pictures in there, and that goes back to the be glad that you got to see pictures of him on your phone when Leilani's sitting there crying over Quentin in the picture she has. I don't know, Teresa. Chaz, she is Leilani Simon is a mother who threw her child in the dumpster after she somehow unalived him.
I was like, no. So yeah, I got that. But I already responded to her like, I don't know. That's all I got. Yeah, the other ones were just pictures of.
That's all you got?
The other ones were just pictures of the baby. So yeah. I don't know. There's this one with the baby that had like a Pooh Bear outfit on. So I don't know. That's what I got. I responded to her like, I don't know, a week and a half ago, so she'll be getting it in a few weeks if the mail service isn't slow. Do you hear me? I got you. I got you. But yeah. And did you know that her youngest son, Ezekiel, shares Quentin's birthday? Did you know that her youngest son, Ezekiel, shares Quentin's birthday? I was like, what? Wild. But yeah, for the Pooh Bear outfit on the baby, I couldn't tell if it was a boy or a girl. I couldn't tell. The blue headphones though, I was like, look at that little boy. Yeah. Let her know that I responded to her though. She should be getting a mail if not within 2 or 3 weeks.
So they're talking about somebody in the family that has had children or something like that. Yeah, they aren't even listening to each other. Rachel said this isn't even a conversation. Like they're not even listening to each other. And I agree. I'm like, this one is confusing. She's Love to Hunt says she's probably close because she can't see her screen since she's outside. Yeah. Roberta Flock has passed away. Oh no, I'm sorry. Abellis. Genevieve said she should only be allowed pictures of his remnants. She should have to look at it. Teresa said, boy, Leilani is doing everything to avoid talking about anything important. Yes, she is. Bad Girl said Quentin never stood a chance with her as a mother. I agree, Bad Girl.
Wild. But yeah, for the Pooh Bear outfit on the baby, I couldn't tell if it was a boy or a girl. I couldn't tell. The blue headphones though, I was like, look at that little boy.
I don't know what.
It appears to be repeating itself. It does that sometimes. I don't know why. I guess the jail calls are crappy. Who would have thought, you know?
I couldn't tell. The blue headphones though, I was like, look at that little boy. Yeah. Let her know that I responded to her though. She should be getting a mail if not within 2 or 3 weeks. She does. She does. I was like, they all got this. Like, I've never seen that color blue eyes
Little
before.
kids, don't she?
Yeah. Well, so
a little girl.
The Pooh Bear outfit had the thing wrapped around the head or whatever. But I wasn't. I still couldn't
which
tell.
one was the girl. She's only got one little girl.
Which one are you? So chunky. The older boy had short hair. I remember seeing him because like the first picture.
Yeah.
Because the first picture.
Somebody's arguing in there. She said, hey, 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 hey. Hey, Screaming Daisies. Good to see you.
I mean, I've never seen little eyes like that.
Has long hair. That's the older. And then one of the older boys has short hair. I think.
Oh, Mama, they have these spiders called camel spiders, and they get huge. You know what they do? They bite their prey, and it poisons them, right? And it kills them. And then they eat their way inside of the body and get inside of the body and eat everything.
She sends me pictures of her kids.
And then crawl back out.
You know what I mean? Maybe one. I think it'd be cool. You know,
it's crazy. Search up those camel spiders, Mama. They have dope. She was telling me about koala bears and how kangaroos are just as skittish as deers. I was like, that must be really, to me, that should be really odd to be driving down the road and you see a little family of kangaroo. Yeah, I would be sick. It would be cool. It would be cool. But I'm just saying, like, I couldn't imagine it being normal to go down the road and see and see kangaroo. I'd be like, that was a kangaroo. I thought that was a kangaroo. No, that was a kangaroo. I said, I'd be looking at you like, Mama, that was a kangaroo. It was an actual kangaroo. No. A kangaroo. Yeah. She asked me stuff like, where do you want to travel? Da, 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 da. If I know where Daniel is. I'm like, I have an idea where he is. But last time that I went to court, juvenile court, they didn't know where he was. They said that he wasn't reported and that he wasn't at his mom's.
Oh, you know what I mean? Except for the spiders.
And then my criminal attorneys asked me where he was. My criminal attorneys asked me if I knew where he was, if I knew where Cody was, if I knew where Bubba was. And I'm like, I can give you an idea, but you gotta think, I haven't talked to these people in over 2 years. I can give you an idea. My best guess. 2 more? So he had that little girl and then another one?
Kangaroo? That's how you said it?
But I don't know. I told him, well, Cody, when all this started, he was in New York, and then he went to Indiana, and then he was.
I don't know who they're talking about other than somebody in Australia talking about seeing kangaroos and things. Genevieve said $900 per minute phone calls on a loop. Demand a refund, right? Love to Hunt, Killing Me Softly in the 70s. The first time ever I saw your face. That song has been with me a long time. Rest in peace, Roberta. I'm sorry I don't know who that is, but I'm so sorry. Now, does she become a den mother? It's possible. CR talking about music. Yeah, the laugh makes me not like it. I remember the issue from Letitia calls. The mom is answering the previous comment. It's not synced up right. Yeah. That's what's going on with this one. This one's not that good.
Daniel is. I'm like, I have an idea where he is. But last time that I went to court, juvenile court, they didn't know where he was. They said that he wasn't in Florida and that he wasn't at his mom's. And then my criminal attorneys asked me where he was. I'm like, my criminal attorneys asked me if I knew where he was, if I knew where Cody was, if I knew where Bubba was. And I'm like, I can give you an idea. But you gotta think, I haven't talked to these people in over 2 years. I can give you an idea. My best guess. 2 more? So he had that little girl and then another one? Yeah. I don't know. I said
Cody's been all over the place. Cody's got 2 more kids.
And then he went to Indiana, and then he was in some type of hotel room in Georgia, and I don't know where he is now.
Yeah. I don't know what he had next, but
it's an actual little house, isn't it? Okay. And then they asked me where Bubba was. I said, Waynesboro, Georgia. Yes.
You should see this dog.
For what?
That Tommy's building for.
And that's why I left him. You know that, right? You remember when I came back to you telling me that he was on? That he had broken that tablet and was getting all violent stuff? That's why I left in the first place. So, well, I didn't know that. I just told him that the last I knew, he was in Waynesboro.
He's probably in prison right now.
So Bubba is
He
the
beat the crap out of that girl he was with. And caught with
The
heroin.
one he was married to?
so they're talking about Quentin's dad right now. She said Bubba's probably in prison right now for beating the crap out of that girl he was married to because they got on heroin. I caught that. Yeah, Chaz said even the mama said, I don't understand what you're talking about. Is this video going hyper speed? Or are they just doing some hyper speed? Said Stoic. I don't know. So they're talking about Bubba right now. That's Quentin's dad. I'll back it up a little bit so you can hear that.
It's like it's an actual little house, isn't it?
Let's go in it. I don't want it to be mine.
And then they
Not
asked
tall
me,
enough, but I can crawl in there.
I said, Waynesboro, Georgia. Yes. For what?
Bubba's, he's probably in prison right now.
And that's why I left him. You know that, right?
He beat
You
the
remember
crap out of that
when I
girl
came back to you talking about that he was on? That he had broken that tablet and was getting all violent and stuff? That's why I left.
So she says she left Bubba because he was beaten on. That's why I left him or whatever. Because he broke that tablet and was getting all violent. And Billy Joe says simultaneously that he's probably in prison for beating that girl they got on heroin.
And that's why I left him. You know that, right? You remember when I came back to you talking about that he was on? That he had broken that tablet and was getting all violent and stuff? That's why I left in the first place. So, well, I didn't know that. I just told him that the last time he was in Waynesboro. So.
Well,
the one he was married
the lady
to?
here, Ashley, that works here.
I can't remember her name.
What's that girl name that Bubba was married to?
Oh, the girl no, that wasn't the girl he was married to. He was married to a girl before that. The girl that he beat is Christian Black. Or
Yeah,
Blake,
the girl that
like
he left, that he was with after you, that came to the house.
Yeah, but like I'm saying, there was the girl he got with after me was some girl
Ashley.
that was like a redhead or whatever, and they got married almost like right away, and then that got broken off, and then he ended up with Christian. Is that Christian Black or Christian Blake?
Anyway, this girl
Christian
is her cousin.
Oh
yeah,
hell!
it's Christian.
Oh, Bubba keeping it in the family. Done left one girl and got with her daggum cousin. Stoic said for someone in jail, she sure does know a lot about everyone on the outside. Who's putting money on her books? Good question. Good question. They said during trial, she had several dudes she was messaging and getting money put on her books.
Went after me with some girl that was like a redhead or whatever, and they got married almost like right away, and then that got broken off, and then he ended up with Christian. Is that Christian Black or Christian Blake? Christian.
Christina, or was that her name? Christy?
Yeah, that's
or
what I'm saying.
something
Christian.
like that?
There was a girl in between Christian and me. The girl that you're talking about, the one that came to the house in
I think
October.
that's her.
That's Christian, like the boy, Christian Black, I think. Is that a Christian Black or Christian Blake? That's crazy. Where's Wayne County? That's not Waynesboro. Where's Wayne County?
Wow. I know I've seen his paper and his face in the Wayne County.
That is crazy. Wow. I didn't know that. And then they asked about Daniel. I said, so this is what I know about him. I know when he first left, he went to Atlanta for a couple days, and then he went back to Dunn, North Carolina, and then he went to Florida, and then he went back to Dunn, North Carolina, and then DFAX couldn't find him.
I mean, not Wayne County, Waynesboro.
I don't know. I said if he's not in Florida or in Dunn, North Carolina, then my only other assumption is Atlanta, Georgia, because he's got a friend Chucky that he grew up with that lives in Atlanta.
So I'm thinking they came and asked her where he would be at because he's got a warrant or they're looking for him or something. I love that look on her face right now. It portrays just how ignorant Leilani is.
Dunn, North Carolina, and then he went to Florida, and then he went back to Dunn, North Carolina, and then DFAX couldn't find him.
DFAX.
I think he's back in Florida. Or maybe
I don't know. I said if he's not in Florida or in
Dunn,
North Carolina, then my only other assumption is Atlanta, Georgia, because he's got a friend Chucky that he grew up with that lives in Atlanta. That's odd. That is so odd.
YouTube,
yeah, that's what I told him. That's what I told him.
Facebook, everything. You don't see him anywhere.
why he went MIA, trying to get sympathy from people.
Makes me wonder why he's
Whatever, he's just as bad.
Saying he's quit trying to.
But yeah, that's what I told him. I said last I knew, D-backs couldn't find him, and they said that he wasn't in Florida, wasn't in North Carolina. That my assumption after that would be Atlanta, Georgia, where he went to for a couple of days when he first left with his friend Chucky. I said, other than that, I don't know.
Good at making people believe he's a victim.
And it always seems up in the middle.
She said he's good at making people believe that he's a victim. I see you guys putting the broken hearts in chat for Quentin, and I appreciate that. Please keep Quentin in mind through all this.
Of a sentence. Yeah, I need to. Because I don't know, I get antsy. I'm always sitting on my butt, it feels like. So I get antsy and then I get up and walk around for like an hour and sit down, and then not much later I get antsy again.
I love you. I know it's gonna hang up.
I love you too. I love you too, Mama, unconditionally. I'm gonna try to call you on Saturday.
I know I love you. What are you doing for? I love you. Yeah.
It's about to cut off.
Yeah. Well, I love you unconditionally.
I wish Leilani was capable of loving somebody unconditionally like her children.
Okay. I should not.
I don't know if they were mouthing words because there was no voice coming from that. I don't know if they were mouthing words and she was reading her lips or what that was about. That girl said someone needs to remember Quentin because this monster doesn't. Absolutely. Tony said for someone who thinks they know everything, she didn't know how to protect Quentin. Yep. Cajun said, my baby is what got me through my dark years. I know that feeling. My children got me through a lot too. Well, it's been about 3 hours, so I'm going to go for today. I just do want to remind you guys that tomorrow will be a day of silence in remembrance of Madeline Soto's death and the day that Sebastian Rogers went missing. I will work on getting some of these phone calls uploaded and out for you guys. I have 15 in total, and we've seen 5. So I'm going to work on getting the rest out. And I guess when we come back, we'll continue going over these jail calls and see. I'm going to put together also some of the court dates and like say, you know, okay, like I've got August 23rd and September 17th written down. I think she was in court on those days. So I'm going to put it together like she was in court for this charge on this day, and this is the phone call after court and things like that. I'll get that stuff put together and we'll continue going over it when we come back on Wednesday. So again, I will not be live tomorrow. I will not be putting out videos tomorrow. I will be editing things and all of that and get that stuff together. I hope y'all have a good day. I will see y'all Wednesday. Please remember Madeline tomorrow. Please remember and say a prayer for Sebastian that he makes it home safely. I love you all. Thank you all for being the best chat on YouTube because you really are. You guys are drama free. You guys are so sweet and so respectful of everybody and their thoughts, opinions, and speculations. I love my speculating family so much, and thank you for being here today. I'll see y'all Wednesday. Bye.
Listen up, I gotta tell you, there is something you should know. I have never really liked you at all. I cannot hide it anymore. I've been thinking about the future.